Hello and welcome once again to the Initiative Order, everyone, and of course back to Chalice Twilight Roads. We're here once again to put these poor people through whatever horrible endgame I have devised, and by devised I mean made up 15 seconds before they meet it. I'm going to go ahead and give a quick shout out to our wonderful sponsors as always. We have, of course, beginning from the top, the lovely Session Zero clothing, D&D inspired streetwear, and again, you can always use the code ORDER at checkout for 15% off there. All of their stuff is really pretty. I'm quite fond of it. I may have a couple of bits in the post, so at some point I may even be able to go, yes, isn't this lovely? We also have Umbral Oculus dice, always putting together some wonderful little bits and pieces. I'm going to ask my good friend Jago to remind everyone how much you all need some extra dice, because who doesn't need extra dice? Jago,
you always need it. You always need extra dice because, you know, when you're shooting that fireball, you never have enough d6. And to be honest, if you're going to buy a d6, you might as well get the whole set of dice. And then you see the dice set next to it, you're always going to need another d6, so you just get the whole set as well. It's a no-brainer.
Might as well.
Yeah, I mean, we got discount codes. You might as well.
And those discount codes are great because it's initiative at the checkout, and you get 10% off.
There you go. It's easy to remember.
I know. Great, right? And on the other codes of involving the word initiative, at least somewhat condensed, we have Norse Foundry, more dice makers. So again, as Jago has already said, more dice, better things. You can head over to see Norse Foundry. They'll be able to make you up wonderful little click-clack rocks, and you can use the code TIO15 at checkout there, 15% off. And of course, finally, you do also have Mithril Armory, who make wonderful tin D20s and sketch dice, so you can kind of color them in, make them your own wonderful little setup. I just follow, the age-old song and paint it black, make it really difficult for myself because I can't see the numbers anymore. So I just claim everything to 20 or a 1. Depending on what game I'm playing.
Depends on the system.
It explains so much.
Yeah,
it does.
It explains so much now.
Oh my
and
god.
You can use the code initiative their web store for another 10% off. And that is all of our sponsors today. And of course, should you wish to go beyond the sponsors and come and see us outside of this game, because I don't know, very boring day and you want to amuse yourself in some way, you can check out our social media. We're on there fairly irregularly at the moment. We will be doing better, I swear to God. I will actually press buttons at some point. And of course, we also have our own Ko-Fi account if you want to, or Ko-Fi, however you want to pronounce it, better than me. If you want to come and donate a couple of pence to myself and the various degenerates I work with, which would be really appreciated. We can buy Jago a working computer.
No.
Yeah,
We're hoping for dice.
He won't be using the potato. He has to buy one every season just to play this game.
That's a real low-hanging fruit you went for there. Come on.
Low-hanging vegetable, if anything.
Yeah.
You hurt me.
Hey, Max, have a voice point.
Yes! I'm putting it down!
Jago looks betrayed.
And on that, I'm going to ask our wonderful guests to introduce themselves. I'm going to start with Jago, purely to try and break him from the morass. Jago, who are you? What are you doing? Where are you? All that good stuff.
Hi, I'm Jago. I'm betrayed. And I'm a resident dice goblin. I will be playing Jack Hooper, and there may be new targets on the horizon.
To defend themselves, I feel. Max, who are you?
Hi, I'm Max. I'm playing Jules Hope. She, at the moment, has just had a nice girls' night, and it's going to be wacky to hear what drunken stories they tell us. The rest of the party, that is.
You're not wrong. I imagine they've had great fun out there in the streets, don't you?
Yes.
Billy, so because you know all the fun that's been going on, you've been having a great old time.
It's been
hugs, everything.
It's just been a lovely time, as we always have in Chalice. Really calm, peaceful, Nothing going on out of the ordinary. No, Sybil's doing fine. Sybil's doing fine. Sybil's got this.
If I say it more, it will become true eventually.
I may just ask our resident tech god to mute Billy for a little bit. In case he's starting to lose.
On the record.
Factory reset.
Hi, I'm Lynn. On the Twitch, I'm also known as Bon2for I play Cecily. I am one of the degenerates Ben mentioned earlier. Cecily's feeling great right now. She's all tarted up with the help of Jules and Cumin. She's had a very nice girls' night in. She's wearing a dress for once. And yeah, she's feeling amazing right now.
Thank you for reminding me the Spice Girls exist.
We will never not.
It's canon. It's canon now.
Canon now, yeah.
Canonical.
And I regret it every moment of every day. James.
I'm James. I'm playing Alister. And last session, Alister just took the time to really get to know another member of the party, just test her mettle a bit, really, and see how she was doing. Really just get to the meat of things.
He's still fucking
He's on
going.
fire.
Yeah, that's what Alister was doing last time.
Can he go for a third?
I was expecting something to do with irony in there. But...
irony's.
No, you missed it now.
Irony is too easy to go for. Too easy. I prefer to just cut to the chase when it comes to that kind of thing.
He's got boundaries. Come on.
You've got to have some standards when it comes to these kind of things.
I can honestly say I have never heard the sentence "you need standards" and James involved anywhere near one.
I said standards. I didn't say how low.
Yeah.
Hi, I'm Holly. I play Edlynnne Castron. She, like James said, her and Alister had a nice kind of, well, I don't think nice is the right word for it, but they had some sort of a moment. It's going to be fun to see how that plays out.
A connection.
Yes, there's some sort of connection. When I'm not here being tortured by Ben, I try to do music. Keyword there is try. Maybe one day I'll have something cool to show. Maybe, hopefully. Who knows?
Got the theme tune.
I was going to say, she did write the theme tune for this, so that's awesome.
Okay, apart from the theme tune, I haven't done anything else.
We'll get there.
Prove this wrong in time. Don't worry, guys. And of course, I am the ever-suffering Ben, the elocutor of the Eldritch this week, and we will be slowly. Yeah.
Well done, sir.
That was
I'm
good.
waiting. We're going to hit the hard one soon.
Really
that is.
I just have it up on my other screen here. I just scroll through in case you would. We know who we are. Sadly, we are very, very aware of who we are. Please roll the intro.
Oh boy.
Hello again, everyone. You know, there are things I am very thankful for in the world, and one of the main things I'm thankful for is that intro. Not because of the wonderful production values or amazing music, but because it hides these people from you for about 2 minutes. It's
That's rude.
great.
Buckle up for 3 hours of this bullshit.
Hey.
Let's go!
Yeah.
I mean, they knew what they signed up for, so like,
Yeah,
I think
yeah.
they should
Did
be
they?
privy to like the 2 minutes of intro because it's just great.
What
Too
episode are we
late.
on?
Speaking of 2 minutes, I would
Oh, no.
really like to hear someone giving me a recap for last week.
Me.
You know what's on offer? It's a wonderful fancy boy point. James's band.
As well I should be.
It was amazing.
Or at the very least, he isn't banned, but when he's done, I will be taking every second he is used off of whoever then tries.
I'll give it a go.
Go on,
Nobody
Jago.
else wants to
2
particularly.
minutes.
Go for it.
All right. So we open with Alister with his teeth around Edlynnne's throat, iron blood going everywhere. It's wonderful. Crowd surrounding them. Jack breaks through the crowd to see this horrific scene, and not really knowing how the hell Edlynnne's bullshit works, just starts trying to pull them apart. Fails.
She
the crowd
doesn't even
gets
know how her
involved.
bullshit works.
Well, there you go. Nobody knows. Fails on his own. The crowd eventually gets involved and starts trying to help. We've managed to separate them, but it turns out Alister had a whole like lump of iron down his throat, so that comes out pulling all sorts of horribleness with it. And then Edlynnne, that gash on her neck, scabs over, I guess is the best term, with silver. The crowd see this, think channeler. She bolts. Alister bolts after her. Subil bolts after them. And Jack is done with this shit and tries to leave.
Sam.
And returns to Sam and probably leaves the scenario and goes back to the car. And that's pretty much Jack's session. They run through the streets. Edlynnne, her hands covered in silver, can't use her hands, tries to find something to disguise herself. Finds a bit of cloth,
Laundry line.
clothesline. Thank you. Yeah, clothesline. Tries to use a bloody
20 seconds.
Oh my god! I completely. Someone came into my room and that threw me off entirely. No, I'm done. Fuck.
Cool, I'm going to use the last 20 seconds. Alister decided to say hello to an old woman and ask her for directions. There was no problem, but she seemed a bit mute for a second for no real reason that he could understand. Lacking any kind of understanding of that, he wandered off. At that point, one of our other party members decided that they wanted to go and shake all the hands that there were, and having shook all of those hands, ran out of hands, but there were more and more and more and more hands. And I think we could do with more hands, and you can tell just how big Billy's smile is as to how much the hands were enjoyed. After all that, we all wend our weary way back towards the tavern after what was a successful evening, frankly. Much fun had by all. And
while that was all going on, Jules and Cecily had a really nice chat with some guys. She got a date. We had a nice night. It was kind of a sleepover. That was it. It was a
Slumber
vibe.
party.
Yeah, you met Harissa, didn't you? And, yeah.
Fuck's sake.
Canon. That's canon. Harissa.
Harissa. Harissa, paprika, and cumin.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
You just
Ben
mentioned the
strikes so
name,
hard.
and Ben is just gone.
He strikes so hard to make a serious, like, hardcore horror
Right.
setting.
See, this is when you you watch any form of TV show, and they do last episode on, and I'm kind of interested to see a really, really high-end production where they then let James write the recap.
Chalice.
Half the characters are suddenly wearing
This
chicken
summer.
suits. The other ones are, I don't know, running around upside down.
See, no, if he wrote the intro, it would just make him look like the hero and everyone else the villains.
This summer, a chase
I
through
don't-
the streets.
I mean, I don't think it's that. I think there's a whole world at home that everybody could be aiming towards, and that's we could all be heading towards better production values all around, right, Ben? Totally worth it. Totally worth it. I am dead. I'm gonna die, and I have no problem with it because it was entirely worth that in joke.
Joy, the narrative.
Much to my own depression, I have definitively filled that glass with water, not vodka. I made a mistake this evening.
Mistakes were made.
We all made a mistake this evening.
Yeah.
Yeah, you let me onto the call. Why did you do that?
I like to think my parents made a mistake about 29 years ago, but
That was dark.
Well, we've taken a very sharp turn.
Started.
I've met your mum. She's
and on
lovely.
that note,
Yeah. It's time to end. Good night.
the tone officially in the toilet.
We'll get it back.
Will we?
No.
Right. I won't lie, that is really awkward. It is very difficult to get back into the moment of the second.
Okay.
We return, finding Edlynnne, Jack, Sam, and Subil sat outside beside their carriage, quietly resting as the streets of Southside around them. Nightlife begins, and people enjoy it. Sound of music hanging on the air, laughter, happiness, all of the things that are sorely lacking around the four of them. Nestled into the shadow of the streets, just off on the side, their carriage laying behind them, the spokes of their wheels still bearing the signs of frost from earlier, their horses missing and the attachments broken off into small shards of obsidian at the far end. They sit quietly, small amounts of their rations pulled from the carriage lying between them, as Sam very happily munches away on a piece of dry salted meat and leaving the three of you quietly considering your next option. You know, of course, where the Oil Lantern is, and since the incident, you haven't seen hide nor hair of Alister, which is a blessing to some of you, you briefly feel. What do you do?
So we need to link up with the others. That's so. Where's
back to the oil lantern? Oil lantern.
right?
We need to get the vaccines back there.
Yeah, but we can't take the link is broken from where we would attach horses, which we don't have anymore for some reason. Why don't we have horses anymore?
Yeah, what happened when we were not here?
Oh,
Yeah.
that old chestnut.
Yeah.
Makes sense now.
Okay. Cool. So
Vaccines we can carry. We can get them out of the back of the carriage. But
okay.
how heavy they are. So
But we have. Well, I'm sure we're gonna have to keep them refrigerated, though.
Should we just?
the whole thing comes out.
Oh, okay.
The
Okay.
fridge, we can carry the fridge. If we can't carry the carriage, we carry the fridge.
Yeah,
Should we just-
I'm just concerned about Cecily's wrath because I feel like she would actually murder us if we turned up to the Oil
Yeah.
Lantern and the vaccines were not.
Well,
She scares me. If I'm being just slightly scares me.
she has got an unholy will determining the fate of these vaccines, and I wouldn't want to go against that. But we can't leave him here.
Well,
Can't take the carriage.
no. How heavy is this? How does this compartment come out then? Or like, How's this all?
I just hope this
Okay.
model of carriage has some kind of mechanism in it. We can have a look.
Right, yeah, let's work this out then. 'Cause no point.
We don't need to take it out, but let's figure out how it works.
Yeah, okay, that's a good plan.
Yeah.
And then we'll try and link up with the others.
Let's do it.
Yeah, okay.
Okay. With that, you pick yourselves up. The carriage is stood just there, so you quite easily swing the door open, head inside, and into the rear compartment where the small kind of refrigerated portion sits. As you swing the door open and clamber inside, you see the actual unit carrying the vaccines lying on the ground, just kind of not so much welded, but attached into the rear wall. Numerous various spokes kind of spiking into it, several padlocks holding various portions in place, and pipes just running kind of along the edges of the wall from separate units into it. It's a complicated looking machine. You take a look over it, and beyond the obvious of opening the padlocks themselves, I'd need you to make a reason engineering check, please, with a focus in mechanical engineering, should you have it, of 2 from one of you.
Engineering.
I mean, I don't have engineering.
I don't have engineering either.
No. Well,
I do.
We
but
are
I'm
the-
not there.
We are the worst people to do this.
Look, I just
What
do the
about Sam?
stats.
Sam, do you have
Alistair
three?
would be perfect for this job.
that's ironic.
Yeah. Who's got the highest reason?
I've got 10 reason.
Oh, I've only got 7. Yeah, you fucking lead
Yeah,
that shit.
you lead.
Remember, if you do not have access to the skill, you cannot assist with it.
Oh, never mind then. It's all on you.
Oh, I didn't. Okay. Well, I mean, what could go wrong?
What could go wrong? You tell me.
A few things.
Look,
Yeah. Right.
You break
Well,
it.
we gonna give it a go? We're gonna give it a go, right?
Yeah,
I don't see any of a choice.
let's roll.
So wait, no, Saboteur's kit wouldn't help here, would it? It would probably
You don't sabotage the vaccine.
I was thinking
Depends.
for the
You know what?
I mean,
I
that's not a bad
can
idea.
make an argument. I can see the argument where for the process of actually just removing the unit,
the tools and utilities.
we'll say you can use it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because I also have a kit, can I also assist because I've got the kit as well?
Go for it.
Yes.
Yeah, more
Very kind today, Benjamin.
I know it's like could be like I'm setting up for something.
Oh.
What have
Please
you
don't.
done?
Please don't.
What would that sabotage kit exactly give me in bonus?
So how the kits work is essentially every single kit has a amount of resources built into it. Normally 6 points. You can use those resource points as momentum.
Right.
So the same way you would buy momentum dice, you use the resources of the kit to do the same thing. So you spend 1 point, you get 1 dice. You spend 3 points, you get 2, etc., etc., etc. So essentially, you can completely exhaust the kit immediately to just roll 5 dice.
Okay, that makes sense. Same as the disguise kit.
Correct.
Got it. Right. I guess I'll just 1 momentum. I'll just use. Yeah. Right.
That's sabotage kit momentum, not momentum.
Yeah.
Sabotage
Okay,
kit momentum, yeah.
Right.
1 use.
I
of
will
the
also
sabotage
spend one of my sabotage momentum to use 2 of my resources.
Cool. Be sure to scribble it down on your sheets.
I'll do that in a second.
kit. 1 success, and that's 2 successes from.
I got 1 success.
Wonderful. Generating momentum then, in that case. It takes you a little bit of time, about half an hour, 45 minutes or so to kind of stumble through it. More relying on the tools you have than knowledge itself. To the point where you realize that you don't actually have any keys for the padlocks. You're assuming probably something that Cecily has. You just instead take a pair of bolt cutters to them and assume it will work the same way. And it does. It frees the padlocks quite rapidly, completely destroying them in the process. But, you know, got to break an egg. 45 minutes later, you have the unit in front of you, having removed it from its original holdings, and it's just kind of still nice and cool, very heavy, and about the size of kind of a fairly heavy, suitcase. So about an arm's length in depth and same width, with a large kind of carrying handle on each side. It is impressively heavy. And you realize as you remove it and pull it away that the pipes that were feeding into it were releasing coolant. By removing those, whereas the unit will hold its chill for a while, it will, of course, warm.
Has anybody got any ice?
You're about to go to a bar. They don't have any there.
Fill it with ice.
They were in the wrong country for me to be able to give you ice.
The issue, right? I really do hope that the ferryman has some kind of cooling system to keep this cool on the boat. Because otherwise, how are we going to get them there?
We'll cross that bridge when we come to it.
If we're being followed by these things and it's like giving off ice, can we abuse that in any way?
But we have to ask whether or not it is better in an icy environment or worse, because either we're going to make it better by making it colder, or we might want to burn it. You know, it's like it might be, we don't know enough to make that.
Yeah.
I would argue.
When it comes to keeping things cool, although Alister is not there, Alister might suggest that water tends to be quite cold. So the easiest way to do it is stick it on a rope and dangle it off the side. As long as it's secure, the water will keep it quite cold.
And airtight.
I think it would be very short-sighted of our alchemist friend not to hire a ferryman who he knows by name who wouldn't have a cooling system on the ferry that we are using.
But is the ferry for a car or this specifically?
Yeah,
we'll find out when we get there. I want to get back to the Oil Lantern.
All right, let's give it a go. Somebody help me carry this thing.
It is definitively a two-person job, just because of the size of it. So
Eddie,
I will
give
need...
us a hand.
Yeah, that's between me and you.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll do that. Yeah, Sybil, can you grab the weapons out of the carriage just in case you might need them?
Just quickly, do we still have Sybil's wheelbarrow?
My chariot of wills. It better be on the roof. It better be on the roof. It's on my character sheet.
Oh my god.
He said yes to the
What?
wheelbarrow. He said yes to the
You're
wheelbarrow.
joking! When did you have a wheelbarrow?
He had a
You weren't there for
wheelbarrow.
the wheelbarrow?
So we got out of the...
He wasn't there for the wheelbarrow.
Oh, you weren't there for the wheelbarrow.
I cannot believe we haven't told Max
That
about
was
the
a
wheelbarrow.
whole ass thing
We haven't
we
told
came
the
to at
street.
some point.
I haven't told
We
anyone.
will get
I
to
can
that
imagine
wheelbarrow.
Before the events of
So-
our current...
Essentially, what happens is Edlynnne and Jack, you make your way inside, very, very cautiously lifting the unit up and making your way slowly out of the carriage once again. As you're going, you can just hear this crashing, the sound of things being moved around on top of the carriage. And as you kind of come down, Jack, you look over your shoulder and you see Sam just looking off, just slightly off to the side, very confused. You step down into the street again, where you can see Subil stood there holding a wheelbarrow with the biggest grin on his face you can imagine.
I forgot we had that. You know what? Sure.
Use
Yeah.
it.
It's finally useful
Right?
for carrying
It's been useful
somebody.
before.
It's always
I mean,
been useful. It came in
it was-
useful. That's why.
That
that's
one
why
other
it's
ti-
the
that
chariot
one
of
time.
wills.
This is the second time you've used it.
Yeah.
All right, help me get this thing in the barrel.
Yeah, I'll
Just
take my
help-
hand.
yeah.
Sybil, you're the one pushing it though, because I don't want to be seen pushing a wheelbarrow.
Am I strong enough?
Are
It's your,
you?
it's your wheelbarrow.
It's your chariot of wills.
The
you put it.
wheelbarrow was originated to carry me. You know this, right? Because I was.
Yeah, I
not
was kind of
strong enough to carry
there was
myself.
other things happening when you
There
got the
was a
wheelbarrow.
lot going on.
I mean,
I'm sorry if I
it's,
kind of neglected about your wheelbarrow.
We remember.
You
them.
place the unit into the wheelbarrow, and it is still quite heavy. Pushing it is going to require a brawn athletics check of 2.
Do I'll take this. Let me do it.
Still
If he
assist,
does-
I get.
Yeah, you can definitely assist.
Do you want me to take
Maybe just
it?
be one person
Sybil?
in front guiding it.
If you want to guide it, Sybil, I'll do the brawn of it.
I'm happy guiding.
Yeah, all right, cool. I'll lead this roll then.
Before
I also-
you charge off, someone mentioned gathering your weapons from the carriage.
Yeah, I was just about to say I would like to get those because we may need them in the future because it is.
So I, in that case, need a quick list of all of the weapons you left on that carriage. Because
I know what left. I know what weapons I left. I don't know what other weapons everybody else.
I know what I left.
Can they list their weapons? Because I don't.
So
know
if I can get a list, I'll run around and just ask for each of them in order, and I'll grab a pen to scribble this bullshit down. Lynn, what are you missing?
Combat knife and a clay explosive.
Okay. Billy.
Just my crossbow.
Holly.
Well, I'm missing my sword, my elite's knife, and my small knife. And have I been? I have to ask. My armor's been on this whole time, hasn't it? So like, I'm not like missing the armor, or is that also?
The assumption was you weren't wearing the armor because it would have drawn attention.
Then armor as well. As yes, I need my armor as well because I'm not letting you take any of that away from me.
Coach gun and Karnakan ritual dagger.
Jules.
Revolver.
And Alister. I know I've randomly changed how I was addressing people in the middle there, but hey.
Fighting knife and I suppose my climbing equipment as well.
Okay.
Oh,
So-
and didn't we, when we looted Horse and Smitch's bodies, we had some flintlocks and a load of shot for them as well.
Yes.
So I guess those.
Oh yeah, there's some the iron knuckle thingies.
No, they're
Yeah,
mine. I kept them
knuckle
on me.
yes.
She's got them on her.
I know. I know about them.
Yeah.
So in total then, you are looking to carry 5 major items and 10 additional minor items on your person
Well,
between the 3 of you.
We can do
we
multiple
also have
runs.
wheelbarrow.
Yeah, we can put some under the fridge in the wheelbarrow,
Barrow of holding.
and that'll
Barrel of
seal.
I will bluntly state things like long swords
I mean,
will
I
come
was-
out of the wheelbarrow no matter how you try and put them in there.
I mean, I was also just gonna grab a blanket and hide all of my stuff in a blanket and just try to conceal it with my hands the best I could. They can deal with the rest of theirs.
Well, if I can ask exactly how you intend on securing as many of these items as physically possible,
boy.
because encumbrance is a thing. Obviously, you're not going to have one person carrying all of this.
Well, we
so-
can put a couple of the shorter, the stuff that can fit in the wheelbarrow. We could put it in the wheelbarrow and then put the fridge on top of it, so that it's less likely to either show, like it hides it, and also
Yeah.
it's harder for guards to just pick it up and have a look. Right? It's like a proper effort to get it off.
I'm happy to leave the coach gun in there in the car because we don't have any ammo for it.
I don't ever use my crossbow, so I'm happy leaving that behind.
Yeah.
People think that's not a bad idea. Like it is my
Yeah,
idea.
no.
Yeah, no, that's
So I am going
Yeah.
to be unarmed
To be fair,
for the
you've
foreseeable future.
it's not like you're combatty anyway, so
Exactly. So if people are happy with that,
I mean, I feel I should actually really, for the point of this conversation, it only comes down to Subil, Edlynnne, and Jack to decide on what you're actually taking back.
I mean, I'm being selfish saying Edlynn's taking all her stuff because you know what
I
she's
mean-
like with her stuff.
Yeah.
what's the likelihood that Jules is going to need a gun?
The pistol is like ornately designed and everything, so it's
Does-
not just like a random one. It's a
We could
fancy pistol.
pawn this off.
That's not. I no. No.
hey man, I found a fancy gun.
You
Do
know
wanna
what? I
sell
should
it?
just let. I should just let Alister kill me last week. Honestly.
I'm joking. I wouldn't do that yet.
I was about to say I wouldn't do that unless it was Edlynn's stuff. Then do it straight away.
So, Edlynnne, you're taking your knives, armor, and sword. How are you planning on hiding these?
Well, I was going to. I'm sure I can like conceal my sword, like not my sword. I can conceal my knives on my person because I'm sure that she's been trained how to do that. And sword, I was just going to kind of get a blanket from the carriage and just wrap up the sword and just, I don't know, find a way to conceal it. And then if any guards ask me about armor, I'll just be like, I'm just picking it up and I'm not going to wear it until I leave the town. I'll be like, I'm literally just picking up the armor and I've got no way, I don't have a bag big enough to carry it.
In which case, can I ask you to make a coordination stealth check, please?
You can, it's just whether I want to do it or not. That is a 1 pass from me.
Okay, so if you're searched, for any reason, they will need 1 success to find all of that.
Which is fine, and I wasn't even going to ask about perfect timing because there's no way that's going to work.
Unfortunately not.
Look, she's a fighting character, not a stealthy character, okay, so I'm surprised I even got the 1.
Fair. Jack, what are you taking? So you have a couple of pistols, you have the revolver, another revolver, a bomb.
Maybe leave that in the carriage.
Cecily can make more of these. Like they're well within her remit to make. They're clay explosives. So
I love the idea that that's how Jack reacted as well. It's just so we got a revolver,
a
bomb,
and a bomb. Nice.
Are we baddies?
Who made the bomb? Why would we need a bomb?
What? I personally don't need any of my personal shit, so I'm going to question to Edlynnne and Subil if they want me to bring anything with me for them.
Well, I was actually going to say the same thing. I'm not. Well,
cool.
Well, you say. No, it's too risky. It's a risk.
I don't want to. We're fucking obvious with this giant box in a wheelbarrow.
Yeah, we're already fugitives. It's not worth it. Instead, my plan was.
I just can't leave my stuff. I
yours is sentimental, so it's different.
Yeah, that's different.
Yeah.
Do we want to just leave it, lock it up, leave it, and go? Because we do have a small armory in there.
Yeah, how much could that trace back to us?
I mean, it's certainly questionable contents.
Yeah.
Although, to be fair, when you brought it in, it did all get catalogued. So
yeah, it's not illegal.
If brought up on it, it's not like you've brought it in illegally. It's just, it's where it's meant to be in the cart.
That being said, if it's been catalogued and they find that cart and cross-reference it with the catalogues, they'll find us. Basically, they'll see all of us trying to get in, and they'll know that they'll be able to figure out it's us based on the catalogued items and their knowledge about them.
So, are you suggesting we remove some of those items, and then it changes? Honestly, we could sell some of these. Like, we got how many random flintlocks? We could sell a couple of them for a bit of extra cash.
Or any cash, we don't really have.
But there's not going to be an arms dealer within the town because you're not allowed to carry arms within the town.
I guess.
There would be gunsmiths and weaponsmiths within the town. There's nothing wrong with selling them. You're just not allowed to use them in the streets without a permit.
Okay, so we bring them in a contained. Well, I think it's if you've got them in a contained box, it's like a license to carry. I guess you'd need a special license to carry, but if you just got it in a box, then anybody.
We're allowed to carry this equipment as long as it's not loaded and we're not using it, I assume?
Depends which particular protectorate guard you end up asking that question to.
And just getting from point A to point B with these, I'm not going to use them.
I swear, sir, I swear.
I'm just going back to my
buildings on my way as well, but I probably
Tell you what, take the knives, because you can make an excuse that we're workers and they're just working knives.
Yeah.
Maybe not the ritualistic one. We'll leave that.
I'm just going to say that my sword is always just get repaired, and I don't have a box for it, but I'm going to buy a box.
It's an emotional support sword.
Yeah, you can't take it from me. I can't take it as emotional support.
Let's get a final decision then. What are you taking?
I think we should do that, take the knives, but I also think due to that, we should unload the flintlocks and take the flintlocks because they'll come in handy. And I think we could out-talk our way through any situation where a guard is suspicious because it's not actually illegal.
Loaded.
We could say it's not loaded. We're heading to the weaponsmith to cash it out so that we can buy some more supplies and head on our way. We're just trying.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay,
So we just
confirm
found
then you are taking the knives and you are taking the unloaded flintlocks.
We'll take all the flintlocks but unload them beforehand.
Yeah, and but we're leaving the Karnakan ritualistic knife. That's staying in the car.
Leaving that, you leaving the crossbow, leaving the gun. What was
the coach gun?
The coach gun.
Yeah.
Anything else that we're leaving? Oh, and the bomb.
And the bomb.
Yeah, you're not taking that to a blacksmith that way.
You like to buy a bomb?
What happens if they find a bomb? Like, you can talk your way out of a sword, but if you find a bomb in a carriage, guys...
Well, I'd love to defuse it, but I'm not exactly the expert.
How weird is that in this world? Because there's people that make bombs for a living.
It's pretty weird.
Yeah.
Weird, okay.
I swear, officer, it's not my bomb, I swear.
Finding some
bombs have never been normalised. I hope you know
Wayward
that.
alchemist that likes making
It's my emotional support bomb.
It's got a little smiley face.
Did you pack this wheelbarrow yourself? Did somebody else?
Yeah.
Well, son!
See, no, I think you go with Bob the bomb. It's like just
Bob
slip
the
off
bomb.
the tongue. Slip off the
So,
tongue.
in which case, who is carrying the knives and the flintlocks? Or are you just loading them into the barrel and hoping for the best?
Should we just have a knife on us because we're workers? We're just working farmers. Will we have knives on us? No, I don't like
You'd be
that.
better off talking
That
it out
sounds-
with actually having it all in there.
Yeah.
If there's like a piece of cloth or something, bundle the flintlocks together so it looks like a package. So you like got these things and delivering these to the local.
They're old.
Whatever.
They're
to sell them. They're like old antiques from the whatever wars.
Some from the Unification Wars.
Parts.
Yeah.
Just getting spare parts stuff. Yeah. So
Yeah.
bundle them all together. They're all unloaded. Yeah.
Just bits we're trying to sell.
You just bundle them together and kind of place them into the wheelbarrow then, or?
Yeah, just put them in the wheelbarrow. If there's room, just put them in the wheelbarrow.
Yeah, we'll put it underneath, and then if a guard gets suspicious, we'll say there are some guns under there. We put them under there so that they weren't exposed to the public. They're all unloaded within a tied, secured away package. We're delivering them to local locksmith, weaponsmith, gunsmith to sell them for parts.
Okay.
Alibi sorted. Cool.
In that case, then, you load everything up into your wheelbarrow, wrap your sword in one of the sleeping blankets from the carriage, and I assume set to make your way back to the Oil Lantern.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, wonderful. In which case, there's going to be a few checks to make here.
Huzzah!
First and foremost,
I'm going to fail every single one of them.
Subil is going to very specifically need to make an insight survival check to make his way back. It is only going to be difficulty 1 because of your street kid truth. You're unusually good at navigating cities. And then, of course, we're going to need a brawn athletics check of 2 to move the wheelbarrow through the city itself. All of these checks have a higher complication rating, increased by 2. So normally to 18, unless you have any injuries increasing any further than that. Please, go for it.
Well, no injuries, so that's nice. So 18 complication, 30.
That
2 successes for the brawn athletics.
for the insight survival. Sorry, was it 1 success or 2?
1.
Got 1 success. Okay. Could have got very lost. That would have been a whole other story.
Slowly but surely, you start navigating your way back through the city. For the vast majority of the time, you move relatively unimpeded. It's still quite early in the evening. People haven't really kind of hidden the drunk madman level yet. Most people, waiting until the sensible hour for that.
Yeah, most.
You are noted by a couple of people. You get a few greetings as you're making your way through the streets by random passers-by. At one point, you even pass a protectorate who kind of just looks at you moderately confused and keeps walking, either not caring enough or not paid enough to care. Some mixture of the two. You continue to loop your way around until eventually you cross over the bridge towards Fayview Hills. The night itself starting to kind of push itself. Meanwhile, at your destination, in the Oil Lantern, we find Jules, Cecily, and a rather worse for wear Alister leaning over the counter of the bar. Frank on the far side, just bringing over a fairly strong measure of whiskey and placing that down in front of Alister. And Gingerbeer, of course, having kind of directed you over to him in the first place, returning back to the rest of the patrons. The bar itself is in full swing, unlike, as I say, sensible people waiting for a normal hour. No one in the Oil Lantern holds to that mentality whatsoever. Drink has been flowing for hours upon hours at this point. Singing is just screaming across the area. You can see several of the Spice Girls have already made their way into the crowds and are trying to gather up as much clientele as they can for the evening. And in amongst all the shouting and the noise and the revelry, the three of you are gathered up quite close to the front door, sat together. Fire away.
What's happened? What we gave you one job.
Alister's just going to be slumped basically against the bar and the whiskey close to his face and just dipping his finger into the whiskey and into the sort of semi-ruin of his mouth.
Cecily sees this and her sort of doctoring kind of instinct kicks in, and I think she's just going to try and patch Alister up as best she can. Just to, maybe seal up some of the wounds and...
You've left your kit back in the room the two of you were staying in. I assume you just kind of go off and get that.
Go grab it. I might change my shoes while I'm there as well.
I was going to say, do you want to keep Alister here in the bar or move Alister to the room? Probably to
Alister,
the room.
Are you in fit state to move with us?
He's going to just be in your hands, like utterly, not even really
We'll
saying
take
much.
you to the room.
Yeah, okay, we'll take Alister to the room where I've got my kit bag and I can change my shoes.
The two of you kind of pick him up and very, very slowly make him drag him back over to the room. Jules just elegantly making her way across, and Cecily kind of stumbling with every step of the heels. As you kind of just get yourself up and move past, you kind of move in front of a woman who's just entering in, who kind of steps back, lets you pass, makes their way straight over to the bar. You can hear them just as you disappear off. I need a private room, please. And you just keep going. Swinging the door open, you kind of throw Alister down onto the lovely, luxurious bed the two of you have been eating on for the last couple of hours. There are various wrappers all over it, empty bottles lying on the floor besides it, and of course, Jules's quietly borrowed makeup kit splayed open on the side. You just dump Alister in the center of it. Very lovingly, of course.
And start doing his nails, right?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
We can't fix your face.
Yeah, while he is chatting to us, I will be doing his nails while Cecily's patching him up.
He's here for it. He's completely out.
He's going to paint it black. Ooh. Like his soul.
Might I suggest the pinky finger, do it pink. Yellow.
No, I was going to do it pink. His pinkies are going to be pink. Everything else is going to be black.
Everything else is all black.
Yeah.
Although just one of them, like deep blood red, would be quite nice, but that's just.
No, I'll slap you. No.
Slap me. At which point, one of the teeth is just like the teeth just.
I'm sorry.
And then just falls out.
Ironically, the blood does fall on the nail.
Yeah, so he gets.
You're right. It does go with your complexion. You're so right. Really brings out your eyes.
And he's just kind of out of it.
Yeah, and the scars on your face too.
Mm-hmm.
He's just gonna turn to Cecily and say, "Just wrap the whole thing, including the mouth, just the whole thing.
That's cool. So I think what Cecily's probably going to do is just like apply various salves and lotions on various cuts, stitching if it's needed, and then if Alister wants his face wrapped in bandages, then if it's your throat, I can probably concoct some kind of like drink to help soothe all that as well. It's definitely within Cecily's remit. And then wrap your face. We'll pretend you're a mummy.
Yeah, I
Just wrap your face in bandages.
I think
wrap the whole thing for
Jules,
safety.
being in a very stylish mood, will find a matching scarf to go over it, like a kind of balaclava kind of vibe.
Well, in that case, can I get, we'll say, a coordination medicine check from Cecily?
Yeah.
Just to give him the once over. Remind me, Alister, do you actually have any injuries?
Well, currently I've got 2 injuries. My blood smells really bad, and I have a total of 8 stress. So,
Are you not bleeding?
I'm not technically bleeding, although my mouth is sort of, there's caked like red here and here with flecks of like what looks like dark metal iron in it as well.
So I'll give you a nice clean.
So, in which case, it's difficulty 2, just to kind of start to reset one of the injuries, which will essentially just remove one level of complication for Alister.
Cool. Like coordination, yeah.
Coordination. You'll also be able to heal a little bit of their stress.
Do I get to use my little? Do I get to use my little +2 next to coordination for this, or?
That'll be to how much health you heal for him. And
okay.
Jules?
Can I be kind of an assistant, like scalpel? Can I assist like that?
I feel like
focus in first aid and pharmacology, so
because he's got 3 mental stress. I feel like the nails is actually going
I would agree
to the point of like that's going to get rid of some of the mental stress.
Go for it. Roll it for me.
So if I've got medicine focused first aid pharmacology, and I've got a
first
total
aid is going to help here, yeah.
Yeah, so I've rolled a total of 16. I've rolled a 4. So I've got a total of 16. I rolled a 4 and a 10, which is 14. Does that mean I get 2 crits?
So any natural roll equal to your skill value or less is a crit.
Okay, so 2 crits and a success then.
And a success from me as well.
That's way more than we wanted. So that's generating you 3 momentum straight away.
Yay.
How to think about
that? 5 momentum.
If you can roll me a total of 3 dice plus the 2 from your higher coordination skill, so 5 damage dice for me. That is how much stress you will heal for Alister.
1, 2, 3, 4.
You can add additional dice to that by spending 1 momentum per dice.
I think 5 dice will be all right.
I should do it, yeah.
I'll roll 4 and then I'll re-roll another one. So 2 Cthulhu heads, 1 of those, and 1 blank, and a 1.
Cool. That's 5 in total then.
There we go.
5 stress healed, and you can remove the complication range of your injuries entirely on 5 successes. The injuries are still there. They are still counting against you for the purposes of potentially dying, but it is a little less complicated for you. It does take you some time. It does take you some time, obviously. You spend a good hour tending to his wounds and very, very slowly patching him back together. By the end of it, you have Alister wrapped from the neck up completely, leaving nothing, of course, but his eyes open and available. His nails are looking wonderful.
Just like the neck balaclava thing really going with his...
Oh, it does.
Yeah. I will also change him as well, because isn't he covered in blood?
Just a bit.
Yeah. Is Alister also going to be in a pretty dress?
Oh, yeah.
It's going to be like crop tops and kind of a skirt, like a kilt. I'm thinking a kilt and a crop top with the kind of balaclava scarf with the black nails with the pink. Yeah, and I might as well do his wings as well. He's got to look good.
I mean, I think he'd probably be up for that. I think if anything, though, he's almost certainly going to want a shawl or something, some kind of hood that could just cover him up.
Well, that can be the scarf. It can go over.
Yeah. Like a shemag kind of thing all the way around here, and then maybe top. Yeah. And then as soon as you do that, he's just going to go and sit in the corner, holding his knees, with just tears running down his face.
I mean, you're welcome to have a sleep if you want to. Like, Jules and I have already slept.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What was that?
I'll be fine. I'll be fine. I'll be here.
What happened? Where? You weren't gone for long.
Were you attacked?
Where's Subil?
I think they're coming back. I hope they're coming back. Something happened and something took over, and they'll be fine. I'm sure they'll be fine. I tried to make it better, but I shouldn't have chased anyone.
When we checked the wounds, did we notice the flakes of black in it?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
It would have been impossible not to.
Yeah.
Right.
They'll be fine. They'll be back. I'll be back soon, I'm sure.
Do you want anything, like with some water or?
No, I'll stay here.
Okay.
I'll be fine. They'll be fine. Everything will be fine. He's just going to sort of curl up into a huddle in the corner.
I'll pull Cecily over to the corner and say, "Hun, did you notice the black stuff in his blood, right?"
Yeah, the black stuff and the bits of little flecks of metal and
yeah.
Whatnot. It looks like he had a fight with a hardware store. I'm not entirely sure.
Yeah, it maybe jumping on some swords or something, but
Maybe.
this is weird.
Well, it's a bizarre injury. It's almost like, from what I've seen, something was ripped.
The black in his blood, I'm guessing, is from that weird syringe thing.
I'd imagine so, but I wouldn't understand
why is it still in his system? Is it there forever? Like, what's the? Do you know much about it?
No, so annoyingly, I was just told that it would revive someone from death, but I don't know how long it would stay in the blood flow. I mean, it's been a few days, so.
Right, you're right. You're probably right. It probably is just
hopefully
on its way out.
Filter out, eventually. And most things that are injections do after a while, they're broken down by the body and they disappear. So maybe it just needs a bit more time to get out of his system. But that explains the black, but the metal, I'm not entirely sure how. He's not going to stop a sword with his face, surely.
Well, that was it. It was like his teeth were fine. It was like it was like it'd been pulled. Like everything's like it's been hot and then cooled.
Yeah.
I don't know.
But I've not really seen anything like it, but in all honesty, I don't think we're going to get much information out of him for a little while, so...
We're safe here for a while anyway.
Yeah. If he says that the others are making their way back, then we might as well...
Just wait.
Yeah.
I guess you're going to miss your date there, huh?
Oh, that'd be fine. He's a bit young for me, to be fair, so... And he said to meet him there at midnight anyway. I think it'll be all right.
I guess that's what we'll be doing, Ben, just waiting it out.
Okay, brilliant. Well, in that case, the rest of you kind of just spend... I assume the two of you are going to stay in the room with him.
Yeah.
I will come out the door every so often to keep an eye on the bar when when they come in, but mostly stay in the room.
Yeah, Cecily will probably just be sort of trying to relax, but keeping an eye on Alister in case his condition gets any worse or anything.
Okay.
Yeah. Make sure he's not bleeding through his bandages and stuff like that. Just yeah.
Okay, no trouble. You, in that case, spend some time just kind of keeping an eye on Alister as he remains just in the corner, very, very muted, very quiet. Looking fabulous, but at the same time, muted and quiet. Jules, as you kind of just make your way in and out of the room, watching the bar and watching the evening kind of progress, can I ask you to make a will observation check? It's going to be difficulty 4.
Oh, okay. I have observation and hearing.
That will help.
That will help.
There's
Okay.
5 momentum, so feel free to have that.
What was the check? Sorry, was it?
Will observation.
Will
difficulty
observation.
4.
Well, observation.
I'm not going to be any help there. They're very low.
I can do 1 whatever momentum, so I get an extra dice if that's okay.
Yeah, no, go. That's what it's there for.
Cool. That is 2 successes plus a non-success, so a 3 and a 4. So yeah, 3 and a 4, and then 1 more. Yeah, which is another pass. So that's 4 overall.
4 and all, brilliant. You, as I said, you spent some time just kind of flicking in and out and just observing the evening's festivities as they continue on, and it just, you don't know what it is. That just something a little bit off. There's a few groups that have been quite quiet. As I mentioned, mostly the Oil Lantern is normally lively as anything, especially as the weekend comes to broil. People finish their workloads for the week. It livens up a lot, especially as more and more people come in from kind of the underground pathways. You see the doors on the bottom level from the sewers and such what opening and closing throughout, people streaming in. The music is still loud. The Spice Girls are making their way through. The bar is churning out drinks at a rate of knots, but there's still an odd kind of air to everything, as if it's only really half of the room making the noise. It just catches you kind of as you...
Because I've noticed this, can I start looking more intently of, do people look like they belong here, or are they trying to pretend to fit in?
You kind of start just keeping a bit more of an eye on the room, and as you kind of come to the conclusion you've come to, you hear a bit of a commotion coming from the stairwell leading into the Oil Lantern in the first place, and it just naturally drags your attention over there, just very, very briefly, as you can hear coming down the stairs, Jack, Subil, and Edlynnne arriving into the upper floor, reaching the top of the stairwell down into the rest of the Oil Lantern with their wheelbarrow.
Oh, this place is crazy.
And
something tells me we shouldn't take this wheelbarrow down here.
Subil, you'll get your wheelbarrows.
I'll come up and meet them.
Subil, they'll literally steal your wheelbarrow.
What the?
No one takes my wheelbarrow.
Front door,
Guys,
guys! What the?
Oh look! Oh,
I thought Alister here, and he's in a bad state. What happened?
Wait, he's
that
here.
is.
He's here.
He turned up.
He's here.
Anyone?
No, he's just crying in the corner. If anything,
How bad of a state?
it's pretty bad. He's got good nails, though. I did that.
You what?
I wasn't really paying attention. I'm gonna be honest. Just come
you
down.
drunk?
Bring that fucking thing down the stairs.
Are you drunk?
Jules, can you not
Nah,
shout at us, please?
A little
We've had a long
bit,
day.
A little bit.
You're drunk. Yeah, you're drunk.
A little bit. We've had right. Our door. Follow me.
The fuck am I meant to do with this wheelbarrow?
Tell Cecily we got the vaccine.
Take it with us. Take it down the stairs.
How? It's
No
big.
problem.
Jack, maybe help Subil carry it down.
That I just
Have you
imagine
seen
Jules
Subil?
kind of sachets her way down the stairs and disappears back.
Well,
off
do you
into
want
the
to take
crowd.
my stuff Subil, you take my stuff. We'll carry the wheelbarrow.
Yeah, just
Okay,
take the
let's do
thing
this.
out. Just take the box out of the wheelbarrow and leave the wheelbarrow up here.
Mm-hmm. Be very,
It'll,
very
it'll
careful.
it'll be easier to take the box than the wheelbarrow.
Yes, but
Yeah.
this is Subil, and I'm pretty sure he'll come back for the wheelbarrow and then end up dying because of it.
I will
When we
die
can
for this
take the wheelbarrow separately, I don't want to get into the logistics of how we're getting a box and a wheelbarrow down the stairs.
Just whatever we do, please be careful with the vaccines.
Yes.
I'm going to come back because they've taken forever. What's going on? Help us!
Just
Rat.
It's been a long day.
You should have said.
I'm going to need...
I stretch my fingers and I pick up one half of the refrigerator.
Okay. I need one of you.
Okay.
So this is going to be a 2-part check. I need one of you to do a brawn athletics check for literally holding the weight of the thing. And one other person to make a coordination athletics check to be responsible for actually targeting the bloody thing.
I will do the brawn.
The brawn is going to be difficulty 2, and so is the targeting.
I'm gonna
coordination, and what was the other one?
Athletics.
Coordination.
No athletics.
I can do that. I've got good coordination.
I'm gonna buy a dice.
I'm also going to buy a dice if that's okay.
Yeah, you go for it. I don't trust this shit.
I'll assist in coordination if I can.
Oh, we're fine anyway. I got 3 successes from those 2.
I was about to say, can my assist as me being stood in the corner going, you've got it, guys?
Yeah, I got 3 successes as well.
We buy the momentum back.
There you are. Wonderful.
All right. Lovely job.
The 2 of you guide it down with the expert management skills of Subil and Edlynnne, directing you from the outside and telling you how you should be doing it as you're quite happily managing it yourselves.
Just really like,
you're too close. No, you're too close. You're too close. Too close. Close.
Hit the wall.
Oh no, you got loads of room. Yeah.
Oh my God.
No, this way. No, wrong way.
Guys, it almost hit the floor. It almost hit the... No,
get the guns while we're doing this.
You're going to drop them.
Shut the fuck up.
You're going to drop the vaccines, and then what's the point of the guns?
Please, shut
up. Kill us if we lose the vaccines.
Whatever. I'll go get the gun.
And it's in that general state that you make your way down the stairs, screaming and shouting at one another, and just kind of bursting back into the bar, carrying the unit with you, and both Subil and Edlynnne following afterwards, just with armfuls of weaponry.
My babies, okay?
Just opening out into the
I'd help you, but my weapons are my life.
As you kind of hit the base of the stairwell into the bar proper, you kind of glance over and you can see Frank looking at you, Jules, and he just very delicately raises his finger at a small sign on the side of the bar which says all weapons to be left at the bar.
I need them for religious purposes.
In the nicest way, honey, I don't care.
Please.
Take your armor, I guess.
I'll leave you my armor, but I kind of really need the sword for religious purposes. Please.
Just stay at the bar with the sword?
You're just going to have to stay at the bar, Han.
You kind of lean forward. You ask the question, and Frank just leans forward. I'm the only god here, darling.
Yeah, you are.
It's not to be a god. It's legit religious purpose. Like, I'm pretty sure my god will come and smite me if I leave the sword. You can have everything else. I just need the sword, please.
Make me a will persuasion check, difficulty 3.
Fuck.
You can have everything else except from the dangerous weapon.
Except from the most dangerous.
All I'm asking.
To be fair, he wouldn't know about the knives, would he? Because I've concealed them.
Maybe not.
Although he can spot a weapon at 30 paces, that was covered last session.
Yeah, that was
quite literally a truth attributed to Frank.
Oh.
He is dead ass the bloody Lord of the Rings scene when they go. But what is it before they're going into Seathead and just
Deception.
taking all these.
Deception will help.
Yes.
But it. No.
That's a complication. I stabbed myself with my own sword.
Yeah, you cut your hands on it.
Okay,
All right.
there you go. You can have
Harmless.
You understand. You make your argument, and Frank just smiles at you, stands up, makes their way around the bar, walks up in front of you, and just puts their hand out. You are compelled to just place the sword in their palm
Can I
got
at
this
least keep my
presence
armor,
about him.
please? Very scary bar guy. Can I at
You
least
can
keep the armor?
You can keep
Thank
the
you.
armor. They're very specific on weapons. Not to lie, if Frank got the question of would you deprive an old man of his walking stick, he would have kicked it out from under Gandalf.
That doesn't surprise me whatsoever.
Like Subil, Jules, and Jack can just tell by Edlynnne's face that she's very sad that she's been parted with her weapons.
You had it.
She's like a kid who, you know, when you take their favorite toy away, it's like literally her face right now.
You're on the verge of greatness.
She's literally about to cry. She's literally about to cry. She's had a long day. She just wants a sword.
After taking your weapons from you, Frank just kind of twists and glances over at Subil. Someone's been here asking for you. He kind of reaches into the jacket of his, into the pocket of his jacket, and kind of just folds a piece of paper out. It says the sun sets lowest in the west. And just folds it back up, points across the bar, and there's a kind of a row of private booths over there, number 3. You can come and get these when you're leaving.
As I turn, I just say, it's probably fine, but maybe keep an eye on booth number 3 for a few minutes, if you know what I mean. I don't want there to be trouble, but I especially don't want there to be unexpected trouble.
Whatever.
Sit a bit. I'll just kind of hop over, trying to conceal the nervousness of who is this? It's probably Juliana. Oh no! Oh god! Oh my god! Oh my god! We were going to die! Oh god!
You just start kind of marching over there. Meanwhile, the rest of you are just kind of left to your own devices. I assume you just cart the unit into the room.
I'm just mumbling and wishing about how many
Yeah.
times I don't get my weapons.
Yeah,
just
Sulking.
Like
To me-
literally stomping
you-
up the stairs as sulking.
Jules, to me.
Can you guys go faster? I want to sulk.
I am going as fast as I can, Herm.
It's not fast enough.
Quiet.
No, I've had a long day.
Cecily, you hear them before you see them as they kind of make their way up the corridor towards the room itself, and Jules literally just kicks the door in with the back of her heel, and you watch them just kind of make their way in, carrying the refrigeration unit in hand, which you will immediately notice will be warming at quite a rapid pace and quite disastrously needs to be cooled now.
I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to see this, like, dash out, just grab the ice bucket off the bar, the whole thing, run back into the room, shove as much ice as I can in there, and then, like, using, like, some sheets or some curtains, just, like, insulating the outside of the box just to keep all that cold in.
Yeah.
And making sure, like, nothing can, like, escape out of, like, where the pipes were connected and whatnot.
I'm just
sorry, Frank.
Will
I
there
needed
be
the
any
ice.
passing words as you just move straight past them?
Sit. Okay.
What's that?
Hi guys, I'll be back in a second. I want a full explanation for what happened to him. Bear with me. I need some ice.
Jules,
Something along those lines.
Cecily wearing?
She looks good, Han, doesn't she?
What the fuck have we missed since we?
Yes.
You know what? I don't.
Good
Yes.
answer. Good answer.
Yes. You both
And it-
look stunning.
Thank you.
You do.
And it's as you kind of, Cecily just darts off past you, that you filter into the room properly. And of course, both Jack and Edlynnne rather immediately notice the huddled mass in the corner, which at this particular moment is, well, it's not really clear who or what it is.
Ready in action for if Edlynnne makes a go for him.
No,
to
you're
hold
letting
her
me.
back.
As I say, at the moment, you don't really know what that is.
You'll let me punch him once, okay? Just that's what it takes. Maybe twice.
Okay, yeah, you can have the first punch is through.
Yeah, I won't.
Everything else you got to work for.
Everything else you got to stop me for, man.
That's fine. I'm willing to do that because we're friends.
So
I hate all of you.
Go for it. What do you say? What do you do?
right, Alister is here.
Hatred on Edlynn's face. Hatred.
What happened while I was gone? Did
Oh,
you guys meet up with them? I
Has
saw
he
you with Subil. What happened?
Has he not told you about what
He's
happened?
been a blundering idiot ever since he's turned up here.
So
I'm not really sure what happened.
Oh no, it's you know, I'll wait for Cecily to get back because I'm sure she's going to want to hear as well exactly what
Probably
Alister did.
Does.
I'm readying
there
an
anything we
action
need
to
to be-
hold Edlynnne back.
Right.
Just sort of,
Okay.
I assume at this stage I've kind of just like clomped back in my pretty dress and boots, and I settle down to listen just as I'm topping up the fridge.
Yep, easy done.
So okay, so now Cecily, like I'm still looking directly at Alister, and I'm just like, well, we found Alister and Subil, and you know we went back to the car, and Alister decided that chasing after a kid would be a smart thing to do.
Alister, what were you doing?
It gets
Well,
worse.
For
Gets worse.
context, the kids were trying to rob us.
Jack,
Right, I get you,
Trying to give
I get
context,
you.
but let me just. They need to know what he did. Anyway,
Yeah,
we're chasing.
okay.
He's chasing the kid. I'm
I
chasing
don't know
him.
what he did.
Yeah. So let me explain. So anyway, he's chasing this kid, and he catches this kid, and is about to. I'm going to say murder was on his mind because I was able to stop Alister murdering a child, and I'm guessing you've noticed his facial injuries.
Yeah, I have noticed that. Mm.
That's because
That must be the flakes of iron.
he sunk his teeth straight into my neck, and well, do you see how my hands are now silver and my neck is now all this? It's because Alister here now has a craving for blood.
What?
Apparently so. So
Okay. That's
if you so are you guys cool if I
Alister,
just,
what is
you know,
going on
I-
here?
Oh, hang on. Let's.
I mean, he's happy to fill in with any other details that I've missed, but yeah. So I
Try to get your blood, but your blood is metal. Are you okay? Do you have any residual, like DT
Yeah.
patching up, or?
I mean, unless you can make metal go back to normal skin.
Not within my powers yet, to my knowledge.
I like the optimism.
No,
Might be a textbook
however,
somewhere.
however, he might need more patching up in a minute because
No, right.
Please don't hit him. I spent
just-
ages
yeah,
patching
we
up,
just
and Jules has
fixed him.
just finished doing his nails.
No,
I mean, no one
that's
else can get
understandable,
eyeliner
but-
like I can. Like, that's just not possible.
that's understandable. But he not only tried to kill a kid, but almost killed me, and you can understand that. You know, I kind of maybe want to get a punching or two.
Oh,
But you know, I'll let him explain himself
Yeah,
first before I do
Alister,
this.
you gotta explain yourself here.
I wouldn't try it again. I didn't mean any of it, but I wouldn't try it. I didn't seem to be able to control it.
Can you explain exactly
Yeah.
what came over you? Or?
We got drunk. We all got drunk, or most of us got drunk, and went back for the carriage, and we found the carriage, and everything was fine. And a bit woozy, but everything was fine. And we found the carriage, and we found these kids trying to rob us, and obviously we're trying to protect the weapons and trying to protect the fridge and trying to protect everything we've got, but they seem to have taken something. So in my drunken state, I ran after one of the kids, and after that it sort of took over, and something took over, and it got worse, and it just got worse and worse. And as I ran after this kid, I couldn't stop it. It just...
Has this ever happened to you before?
No, this is the first time. It's the first time anything like this has happened. It's I had after I got the injection, after I came back, I've had some dreams that not continual and not always, but I've had some dreams about... They've been fine. They've felt amazing. They've felt great, but they've been destructive as well. And I've tried to keep a lid on it, and I thought, well, it's fine. It's just dreams. Everyone's having dreams. I'm trying to help channelers. We're trying to get where we're going. It's absolutely, everything will be fine. And as I ran after this kid, something just took over and pulled me back into it and pulled me back towards that feeling and the feeling that I've been having in these dreams. And then I couldn't stop myself. I don't want to kill anyone. I don't want to kill the kid. I don't want to hurt anybody. I want to protect what we're here to protect and do what we're here to do. That's all I'm here for. That's all I wanted. And then this kid was in front of me, and I just grabbed, and I couldn't. I felt like I was gonna just, this poor kid in front of me, and I couldn't stop it. I tried to stop it. I tried to, but I couldn't. And then I got tackled, and I couldn't be more thankful. But then there was a threat, and then there was flesh, and then there was a neck, and I just attacked. And I didn't have my hands, I didn't have anything, so I just attacked. And then suddenly my mouth was filling with metal and iron, and I didn't know what was going on, and I felt the need to just defend and attack all at the same time, and I was attacking and ripping, and then it's all just a blur. It's all just death and pain and pain. So much, like my entire, it hurts to talk. And then I just needed to get back here. I needed to apologize. I needed to stop. I needed to explain, and I couldn't. There was nothing I could do. There was nothing I could. I tried. I asked. I grabbed at people. I think I may have hurt someone else. I just tried to make my way back here. It just took over, and I couldn't stop it. I tried, but I couldn't. I'm sorry. And he's just going to huddle in on himself and start crying again.
Edlynnne, I can't speak for you, but he seems pretty forthright in what he's saying, I think.
You know what? I'm just gonna go get a drink. I can't be bothered with this. And she's just gonna leave and go to the bar because she's angry, and she kind of doesn't want to make the situation worse for either of them. So yeah, I'm just gonna go back down to the bar.
Sorry.
Go ahead. No, go ahead.
So I think what Cecily might do in this situation is, because she doesn't know anything about black blood, but she knows that there is a Wishian by the name of Dr. Black at the College of Lakeview who invented it. How long would it take for a letter to get from Southside to the College of Lakeview, and for a reply to get from Lakeview to Montagoin Island, roughly?
Not overly long. It would take about, I'm going by the canals, a couple of weeks to make, assuming it gets to her in time and is answered promptly, 2-3 weeks.
Okay. In which case then, I think what I might try and do is write a letter to her and then ask if she can sort of, I'm assuming they have post offices here, right?
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, so I'll just get her to send her reply to a post office in Dis, and then I can pick it up when I'm through there. But I want to write to her and ask if there are known side effects and any countermeasures that can be taken against black blood, or if it will run its course through the body. I think that would be useful knowledge for me to have, because I don't know enough about it. And if it's giving Alister this predicament which can endanger our group, then I would rather see if I can get it sorted. And it's also kind of my fault that he's in this state. He's alive, but suffering, so...
Easily done.
Yeah.
You kind of take some time as Edlynnne picks herself up and just leaves the room. There's a small desk with papers and all sorts nearby in the room itself, so you more than have all of the implements available. Anything from Jules or Jack?
I'm assuming there's still some food left over on the thing? From where you guys have had your girls' night?
A little bit.
Yeah,
Probably like scraps and stuff.
just take an orange, start peeling it with a knife and slice it up for Sam. Give him a few bits. Put like bit in my
Where's the
mouth.
kid?
He's with me,
No, he isn't.
motherfucker.
You just leave the kid in the bar.
Where's the kid?
Oh,
Jack?
fuck off! Running.
Only instruction. Running!
Jack immediately just turned to head off, leaving just Jules in the room there with Cecily and Alister. Meanwhile, downstairs, Subil, you kind of cut your way through the crowds and just come up to the third private booth. The door's just kind of lying slightly open, and you can hear someone talking, a male voice, quite deep and fairly commanding. There's something definitive in the voice itself.
And the other one?
Hard to tell. They're not really saying much. You can hear the occasional and a very non-committal statements in response.
God. This could go really, really well or really, really badly.
As you kind of close towards the door, at the point where you're kind of just on the other side of it, you see the door move slightly, and the male voice twists, and you see the figure kind of push the door open slightly to see you. Very, very tall, quite grey hair, which is just neatly tied back and styled behind them. Very thin beard and several scars just running across their features. He kind of just looks you up and down. In you come.
Yeah. Okay. I'll step on in. Keeping an eye out.
You just kind of slide in past him. And as you do, you come into this very small booth, and sat just directly across, leg just kind of folded over the main one and just leaning on the table, Juliana.
Yeah. Oh, hey, you.
Sit down.
It's gotta, stop happening. You can't,
Sit down. Thank you, Kanehurst.
Oh, you're beefy voice, beefy man.
He's already closed the door.
I know. I'm talking to Juliana.
Yeah.
That's just her.
Purifier, Kanehurst. Sit down, Sibyllus. Sit down.
Fine. And it's Sybil, please, not syphilis. Simple name. Come on, Juliana. We know each other better than this. Sybil's gonna sit down slowly, trying to keep his composure on the outside by sort of putting on this facade, but inside he's planning and he's panicking, especially since that was the Kanehurst that he's and this is in the bar.
This is in the bar.
Is this in the public area of the bar, or is this in the private underground bit?
This is the private section.
Oh, yay.
Hey.
Okay. How can I help you, Juliana? Seems like this is happening more and more.
She just kind of looks at you for a moment, and you can see genuine concern on her features.
I haven't seen you look this... Well, I haven't seen you display this emotion before, Juliana. Is there something worrying you?
What did they do to you?
I'm sorry, I thought it was your little pet running around the fucking...
you kind of there. She reaches out, and as you're kind of just hitting your hand, she just places her hand on yours.
Fucking slapping that
It's
away.
weirdly soothing.
She drugged you.
Oh
The
my
truth,
god.
your fear of physical contact just kind of burns away. As she just takes your hand and just warmly grips it. This needs to stop. It's not worth your life. You've aged 10 years, Subil.
11. Thank you. And that wasn't any fault of mine. It was a fault of whoever sent that thing after me. The thing that can't let me touch anything else. I can barely stand the feeling of clothes on my own skin, and you think, oh, it's not worth it. Worth what? I'm just trying to survive, and every 10 days I see your face show up to patronize me about how I'm on the wrong side, about how we're all going to die any day, how it's all useless. Come on. Don't touch me. I'm pulling my hand away, even though it feels
no,
nice.
She kind of takes her hand, raises them. Whatever thing you're talking about is nothing to do with me.
I don't want
nothing to do with the Inquisition.
So you're telling me you have no knowledge of a large creature resembling all the hands in the world scrambling around taking people from nowhere? Does it ring a bell?
It does.
It does. So now either you're going to spin a web of lies talking about how it had nothing to do with the Inquisition and they had no control or power over this mysterious creature. But then why would I ever believe that?
Because you're not an idiot. Because that thing is tied to the child you are carting across the country. That thing will follow it until the ends of the earth and kill anyone that deems themselves friends, allies, companions, passerbys of that child. Why do you think, she says as she just kind of leans closer to you, why do you think we're here? If this was a normal channeler, you think we would have spent the resources we have, done everything we have to capture one channeler? That child is a bomb waiting to go off. And every moment you cart it with you, you put yourselves and the life of everyone around you in danger.
You know, I want to believe you, Juliana, but so far the only threat that we've encountered hasn't been from that child. And I understand channelers scare you. I understand channelers scare the status quo of the Inquisition and the everything around here, but the only threat that we faced is one that I can't explain. And the only explanation is that it started happening not after the kid showed up, but after you showed up, Juliana. After you showed up that day on the farm. Ever since that day, it's all been different. So you can't just blame it on the kid. We're all in this together. And if you're not going to be straight with me about what this creature is, or where it's coming from, or what we're going to do about it.
We don't know, Subil. This is why we're trying to capture them. So we can try and work it out. We can find a way to contain it without killing the child. We have no intention of killing anyone unless we are forced to. And do not look at me and state that no one has forced our hands. Icefield, Killport. Bombs going off in markets, throwing explosives in a high street, towering
You're smart
above.
enough to know that that was never our intention. You're smart enough to know the unhinged personnel that we had. You are smart enough with your fancy investigations and all of your information to know that that was not our intent and that we're not terrorists. But that
It may not have been.
That seems to be the narrative. So
It may not have been, Sybil, but it is now. We have eliminated one portion of that. Your dangerous element is rotting in a cell beneath the Shining Peak.
Isaac's alive?
Yes.
Well, at least he's not here. That's all I can say.
I want to give you an out. I want to give you and your friends an out. To this point, Jack, I believe, can walk away. Get him out of the country. I'm happy to write it off. We can find homes for the rest of you. We might give you some normality after this, get you away. And she just kind of throws her hand up, gesturing to the numerous stones across your face. Get you away from whatever is slowly killing you. Hell, join the Inquisition. Help us do better.
No.
Or
change.
Or we hit the final option.
Tell me.
And she gestures to the door. The Purifier gets his way. Because this is what happens next, Sybil. You walk out of that door with me with you. And this goes away. This finishes. Here and now. Will you walk out alone? And I'm Canehurst's way and my brother's way are the path you force us on.
No. They're the path that you choose.
I don't have a choice here, Sybil. The actions you've taken so far have forced my hand. I want to help you, but you need to let me help you. And on that statement, we're going to go to a short break.
Oh,
We're all going to die horrible deaths.
I'm gonna hide under the bed. I don't know about you lot.
I'm not here.
Oh,
Just behind
wait,
a curtain with like my feet poking out. No.
Got a very lovely corner. If there's three other corners.
Oh, hell yeah, I'll take a corner. Why not?
I've
Yeah,
gone down to
corner.
the bar.
We'll be back in about 10 to 12 minutes or so. I say that because that's the timer I put on my phone.
I want to go cry for 10 to 12
See you
minutes.
then. Enjoy the break.
Hi.
See you later. See you in a bit. Bye.
And help.
Hello and welcome back. We return, of course, to a fairly important decision. Back in a small room, sat upon velvet-lined chairs, beautifully cushioned, the table of oak laid out between the two of them, a single glass of water sat by one of them. We find Juliana Kraust, Illuminator of the Inquisition, and Subil. Juliana leaning back and awaiting a response to her question. You have to let us help you, Subil.
You know, what I'm confused about, Juliana, is why are we having this conversation? You obviously, you could always find us. You found us pretty easily now, so we weren't ever hiding from you. And it's
You do make it rather easy.
We've made a little bit of attention, you could say. Not for a lack of trying to stay stealthy.
I'm here,
exactly
Subil.
could I possibly do?
Because I believe, bar some rather critical mistakes, and I believe this wholeheartedly with the entirety of your organization, that none of you are bad people and none of you deserve punishment. You deserve realigning.
Realigning through punishment and violence and force. Well,
I have no intention of silencing you. We force when we need to. Would you rather that we let the child continue to sprint throughout Chalice? To leave more death in their wake because you don't know how to control them, do you? Let's be blunt here. But at least we have the means to try.
To what end?
To help
military
them.
tool. To use them. To point them into the direction of whatever means that you find just. You say that, that they're a threat, and you say that they're powerful and that they're wrong, but you're the one deciding those things. You're deciding what's right and wrong. That's not.
I make no decision on what's right or wrong. I make a decision on what's prudent.
No, you make no decisions on right or wrong. The people above you do. You have no say in that. You have no thought.
No,
it doesn't
you're
matter
right.
what you think.
I don't. I can merely guide the mission in a certain direction. What I'm asking, Subil, is that you help guide it.
You're saying that I should give it up.
I'm saying you should use your talents in another manner. Help us. You've seen the other side. You know how it works. You have seen what happens when channeling goes wrong. You've seen what happens to the people when, unfortunately, certain members of our organization step in and take what can only be described as the brutal and frankly cruel method of solution. I don't ascribe to that. I want to help these people. I make sure that in certain cases, even if we do have to force them into the military, we find them peaceful jobs. We have men and women who can bend fire to their will cooking. There are also those who can turn their talents to healing, to saving lives. Would rather they be able to save lives in the best way possible, trained and able to use their gifts to help people. The Inquisition has been through tumultuous times.
That's the issue. They have no say in what they use. They're just tools to be used and pointed in directions.
Aren't we all?
Only used. That's the problem. Juliana, you're so used to everyone telling you exactly what to do and how to think that you don't seem to realize that you're allowed to think on your own. And you're allowed other people for them to live their lives, for them to choose, you know what, I don't want to live here anymore because of how you treat them. Because sometimes it's not because of the channelers that justify the brutal means. Sometimes the brutal means cause the violence in the channelers. You ever thought that it might be a vicious cycle?
Yes. But you know the other thing I know, Subil? You sit there speaking of free will and people being able to go out and live their lives in whatever means they choose. Who do you think helps the people of this country have the decision?
No, you're saying who makes the decision.
3 times channelers have stood up and tried to subjugate and conquer.
When was
Since
that?
the dawning of our history.
Since the dawning of our history. How long ago was that?
Do you want to speak bluntly? 20 years. Then again, 5 years ago in a town named Sparrowfall. Men, women, and children strapped up and tortured due to the uncaring whims of one man or one woman who decided suddenly the gifts they were given by the martyr or some other thing were to be used for cruel and selfish means. For every 9 people we put away because they are able to perform minor abilities, and we help them, we guide them, there's one who slips through the cracks that goes on to commit untold atrocities. And you tell me that they need to be freed as well? Take your compatriot, Isaac. What if he didn't need alcohol or flame to put a village to death? What if he could do it with a thought? A flick of his wrist?
You know, I heard a story recently, and it was about may have been my own countrymen in the Freed, or may have even been in the envisioned, some group that your organization didn't agree with, and they were all holed up, surviving, doing whatever they could. But then, that beefy man that we saw 5 minutes ago, the one and only Justicar Kinghurst. You know, I heard that all they left were heads of channelers on spikes outside their refuge. How, 40 odd people were killed within an hour before the rest of the Inquisition could even arrive. Because one of yours, who is now put on a pedestal, who is right here, you know, could be hearing this outside the curtain right now, I don't care. How he is apparently exempt from these war crimes because they're pointed in the direction that you so choose. Oh, wait, no, sorry, you don't so choose it. You don't get that choice. None of you do. It's whoever's above you and whoever's above them until it reaches the top. No one else gets to decide what might be good or bad. No one else gets to decide when it's time to change. You decide what's right and what's wrong, and this is going to be the rest of life forever. 20 years, 200 years, however many years, you'll always find a way to justify how one group should be marginalized because in history they did that. It's toxic. It's ridiculous. It's bound to fall. It's bound to fail. And it's ridiculous how narrow-minded of you that something could stay the same forever, or that how one group is all the same, how that could possibly dictate the running of a so-called empire.
I don't disagree with you, Subil.
And yet you're part of it, Juliana.
Because I'd rather be part of it and helping to guide and change it than running from it and pretending there is another way of solving it.
You can't guide and change it if by your own...
The fact that this entire building, you, your friends, have even gotten this far is a demonstration that I can.
Yes, it's a demonstration.
And my brother had his way.
I am here talking my way through this because I am scared of my life because of your organization. because there is no way that I could possibly justify me giving myself or my friends in, because why? How could I? How can I trust you, Juliana? Give me a reason to trust you. All we've seen is death, and every time we encounter any kind of inquisition or any kind of organization that so speaks to protect any of us, it's more violence. And that's not always because of us. All we want to do is travel through this country and get our way out of it. That is
And I am giving you that option, Subil.
No, you're not. You're giving the option of taking us and using us in whatever means you justify, or your upper means justify. You don't want us to escape the country. You want to use us, or
Walk out of that door with me. You all go free. Jack leaves the country. The rest of you are pardoned and allowed to live your lives. The child, sadly, comes with us. But the child lives. We can train them and help them understand what they are, what they could be. Or I'm not given the option to try and help, which is what I'm trying to do now. We all fear things, Subil. And my fear of the Inquisition is no different to yours. I've seen what it does. It pulls people in, chews them up, and leaves a broken husk afterwards. But nothing changes because someone stands in front of it and shouts that it's wrong. It changes because the people within it make it change. Help me make a difference, Subil. Or be pulled in, ground up, and left as a husk. Meanwhile, Edlynnne. You step into the bar, make your way across the floor, and directly straight over where you can see Frank and Ginger kind of making their way up and down it. As you go to cross, a man just storms past you. Probably about a foot taller than you.
No,
Marching.
I'm not gonna have the angry, short person demeanor. That's Holly. That's not Edlynnne. That's gonna get me killed one day. I'm not gonna swear at him.
He marches straight past you, reaches the stairs, and as he steps onto the first of the steps, you just watch as groups just from next to the bar and near the stairs, 3 or 4 people from each group just quietly step away and follow him.
Oh, shit. I guess no. I mean, I guess I can kind of. Is he in like any sort of signifying clothes? You know what I mean? Words are not.
Make an insight observation check of 2, please.
That's 5 momentum if you want it.
Yes, please.
You would like a momentum?
Momentum.
There, where?
One momentum. Insight observation. Oh, she's not decent in this. Come on, Eddie. Wouldn't believe it. 17, so not a complication. But so you know, I'm not lying.
I trust you.
2 nat 1, so a Cthulhu face there, and then a 1 there. So 4 in total.
Very nice. Generate 2 momentum.
Nice. 6
As he marches past, there's no armor on his person, at least not immediately visible, and he's certainly not carrying a weapon of any variety. However, as he moves, just kind of stops on the stairs and glances back just to pull everyone up. You see just the kind of under his shirt, the bulk of what looks to be some form of chainmail underneath. And just on the hem of his jacket, running along the interior, you see the symbol of the Martyr's Rose.
Mm-hmm.
And emblazoned on his on the shirt is the Bloody Crow.
I'm just gonna see this, and then slowly just turn around and start making my way back. Start my way back to the room, as if I've like forgotten something, like gold, so I could pay for a drink. Because I was gonna make it simple going back to get that, and not that I've just noticed this guy asshole. No.
As you go to turn in place and make your way back up, you see Jack just immediately charge down the stairs, coming from the opposite direction, directly towards you.
Where have they gone? You haven't seen Sam, have you?
No, but we may
Cool.
have a no, Jack. We may have a problem.
It could be Inquisition. I don't give a fuck. Sam
It
is
is.
gone right now.
And that guy looks like he can take us all. Looks like he can take all of us out in one hit.
Ooh, so let's find Sam. Be quiet.
How
Cool.
are you
So let's
how are you
find
planning
Sam.
to get out if he's blocking the door?
Bridge, come to it.
You
Just
know what?
help me find
know
him.
I kind of need to go warn the others because for that start a
Okay,
fight,
okay.
I think I'd help us find the others.
Okay, go. I'll look for Sam. Fucking hell.
Keep talking because I'm being just not talking. Keep going. Well,
You just
Going
keep
back.
going, charge up the stairs. Jack, I need you to make me let's say, it's going to be insight observation again.
Okay.
Considering this is a busy bar, difficulty free.
Insight observation?
Correct.
Okay. That's fine. That's totally fine. I'm buying a dice. I'm not my second one. I thought if that would happen. Let's no, fuck it. We'll just buy the one dice. We'll be fine. It'll be fine, he says. That's one success and a complication.
You start rampaging through the bar, doing everything you can to try and locate Sam. You are just grab people at random and ask the question. You get a couple of, there was a kid running around earlier.
Cool. Going.
But as you kind of continue making your way around, you spend a good 5-10 minutes and don't turn them up anywhere. It's about at that time, Edlynnne, you reach the door upstairs, kind of just pushing it open where you can find everyone inside. Cecily, having finished at this point writing your letter, quite happily just putting that one together, and Jules and Alister in the room as well.
don't want to alarm you guys. We may need to leave fairly quickly. I am 99.9% sure that there's a very somewhat large Inquisition presence in here with us right now.
Thought so.
Cecily, you know what our track record is in situations like this, and I think I'd kind of rather want to avoid a fight. So, I just get ready to leave.
Mika?
So, it seems like we're not getting through the front door.
You guys know of any other ways?
Well,
Use the waterway?
well, there is lots of sewers. Well, that's the whole point of this place is a way to get out. So
No, I say we.
I say, yeah, we grab Subil and
Jack's
get on.
looking for Sam, and
You've lost the kid?
look. I had weapons. Okay, I thought someone else would look out for him. I can't always be responsible for the kid. I know sometimes I am, but
Right.
I'm just angry. Okay, so I don't.
I can ask for some kind of boat to get out quietly.
I need to convince that guy behind the bar to give me my weapons back.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to talk to Frank for that.
If you could, he doesn't like me much. If you could talk to him,
I'll do it. I'll talk to Frank and see if we can get our way out of here.
We need to stop.
Dennis, Frank doesn't like minding people.
Right. I guess I'll go and ask.
Yep.
You pick yourself up and start doubling back down. Anything from Alister or Cecily?
I think I'm just sort of like gonna get my coat on, like pack my bags and stuff, and maybe try sort of shunting the vaccine towards the door a little bit because we're gonna need to. Is it still in the wheelbarrow, or did we take it out of the wheelbarrow?
No one said they took it out of the wheelbarrow, so it's still in the wheelbarrow.
So to say, I'm also putting on my armor in case there's a fight, which I'm gonna notice.
Yeah, that's fine.
So I'm just going to shunt it a little bit closer to the door, either to hold the door shut if needs be, or just to try and get it out speedily. Because if we're getting on a boat, we might as well get that boat to the ferry, I'm guessing. And
It's also good to remember what's underneath the fridge in the wheelbarrow.
oh yeah, that too.
Although they are unloaded.
Alistair's just going to stand up and pull the bag down so it's around his thing. And then some small, just like, this seems to be the only thing that I do well these days, so.
I mean, hey, as long as you promise not to get one of the teammates, then I say you do what you did earlier to them if it needs to be done.
Whatever we need to do to get Jack and Sam out of here.
Back in the booth.
Having a party.
Juliana stands up.
Guys.
Juliana stands up and just walks over to the door. With or without me, Subil? She puts her hand out in your direction. Make the right decision.
If I'm going to do this, Juliana, there is one thing. All right. We've been avoiding you, hiking along the trails behind night for a long time, but we've been trying to deliver a vaccine to the island just off the coast.
I know.
And we need to get it there. So before I make any deals with you, you need to understand that we need to finish that journey.
I understand. We've already put preparations in place to move it.
We need to see it through. Other than that, Sybil's going to reach out and stand up and take Juliana's hand. And he's just gonna look down and go, fine. Fine. Fine, let's go.
You step out of the door, swinging it open, and the two of you just move out, her gripping your hand quite fully. And the moment you step out, you see her turn and just nod to someone in the crowd, who just peels off from the little group they're on and leaves.
You don't have to be so mysterious, Juliana. I hate this, but, we're friends. Tell me what's that.
Please ask your friends to make their way out of the building.
I will if I see them, but I don't know where they are. I came straight downstairs.
Find them. Bring them out of the front door. Bring the vaccine with you. And that will be it.
I'm trusting you.
I understand. And I will not betray that trust. She says, and she places her hand on your shoulder. You've made the right decision.
Yeah, I hope so. And I'm just going to disappear as such into the crowd.
Easily done.
Yeah, hopefully I can do it.
It doesn't take you too long to quite literally move through the crowd just a small amount until you can hear Jack just randomly asking people for help.
If I haven't found anything on the bar floor, my first thought will be, if he's found his way to the room, then that's fine. I don't need to check there. So I would have been making my way out to the front or on the upper area.
You would have two separate areas to check. There would be the brothel. There's a fighting ring. And finally, the private booths themselves. It's the private booths you kind of make a beeline for at one point, and it's the opportunity Subil has to kind of intercept you.
Right. All right, mate. Sam's missing, and we think there's Inquisition people here, so we're wrapping up and probably going to boot.
Yeah, there's definitely Inquisition here.
Okay, cool. You've got one. If you find Sam, just get him to the room. I think that's where we're all meeting.
Juliana's here. And Kanehurst is here.
Colour just drains.
We either need to find Sam or lose him. It might be for his best, but we need to find the others. I've also some...
No. Shut the fuck up. Kanehurst is here.
Yeah.
And Sam's gone.
He hasn't got Sam. I've just chatted with Juliana and I've supposedly made a deal. But in that deal it requires Sam, which means they don't have him.
I'm not being separated from that boy.
No, that's fine. But we need to get out of here. And we need to get somewhere with more of us and less of them. So let's find people quick. Keep looking for Sam, but look for the other.
Okay.
Don't go out the front door yet.
Right.
They're waiting for us.
Okay.
And they know that I might double cross them, so obviously, be careful.
Oh. Okay, sure.
Right. And I'm going to head upstairs to look for more people, hoping that Jack looks downstairs.
Yeah, I will. Mad dash.
Oh, you muted yourself, Ben.
Thank you. I believe, Jules, you were going down to...
Yeah, to talk to Frank.
This will be about the time you kind of reach there.
Frank!
What is it?
There seems to be the Inquisition here. Yeah. Plus 2 big guys. I'm talking. Oh wait, do I? No, I don't know that. I don't know. Sorry.
No,
I don't know that. I know Inquisition's here, and we should probably go. And if they're here, they're by the front door.
Okay.
We need. Could we use a boat to get out of here? We just need to get to the beach.
Just kind of turns and just starts rummaging under the desk, under the bar itself. Pulls out a small key. Just places that down on the table. Go down by the brothels, third door, go through Graham's room, rear closet. There should be a kind of pinkish stain on the back of it. Push down on that. Use the key.
Hold on. Okay, I think I got that. Okay, thanks.
Go. Go.
No. Keep it on. And also, the lady that came in here, she can't leave without that sword. Like, she's gonna need it. And before you go,
slams it down on the table in front of you.
Shit, go. But also my okay, but my gun's with all the rest of my stuff. I can't ask you to go get that.
That sucks.
No,
that sucks.
I feel like that's pushing it. I feel like that's pushing it. I could give you a list of stuff. No, you know what? I've head and okay, and I'll go back with just the sword.
You pick it up, and as you do, he grabs your wrist. You make sure you come back.
No promises.
And
then
you
I'll
saunter away.
I'll come into our room and I'll just kind of slam the door, and I've got this sword, and I'm like, that was the most stressful thing I think I've ever done. I got your sword.
I'm about to say you almost like hurt yourself. Take the sword. Can I confirm I've also still got the knives, or they still aren't the door?
No, they were gone.
It's just the sword.
You've only got the sword.
Okay, I'll go down to get my knives as well because I need them.
No, don't worry about it.
You'll have to go up to the front. You'll have to go to the front to go get your weapons.
Just cut your losses.
Knives. They have sentimental value as well. You don't understand Edlynne's obsession with weaponry. She collects my Pokemon cards, okay?
No. You understand Mike's obsession with weaponry. That's what's happened.
Can I get another insight observation check from yourself, please, Jack?
Yeah.
Difficulty is going down to 2.
Okay, I will not spend momentum because I feel like we're going to need it. So 12. Yeah.
Is it another complication?
It might be.
Is it 2 complications?
No.
Is it just the one?
It's 1 pass and 1 complication.
My dude, get better dice.
I've tried different dice every time.
Roll better.
Maybe you just need more dice.
I need to check out our sponsors.
Yes, you do. Yes, you do. Plenty of options.
Exactly.
You spend some more time. You make your way down to the fighting ring and find nothing. Absolutely nothing. There's a fight going on, and the more worrying part is as you start kind of pushing your way through, you kind of get about halfway, and someone at the front of it just kind of, as they answer you, just gives you a quick look up and down. How do you want to make some money real quick?
I'm not a fighter, mate. I'm looking for a kid.
You're a fighter. Look at you. Look at that. He says, and just slaps you on the bicep. And as he does so, kind of pushes his hand behind your back and just kind of directs you towards the ring. We got another one!
No, you don't! No! Just looking for my kid.
And as you kind of just push yourself free and start disappearing back off into the crowd, and you just hear this, pass through, you just burn a little bit more time on kind of looking around.
Oh, God.
You're all assigned within the room. Subil, what are you doing?
I would have wanted to.
I'm going to head back up to ground floor, I think I'll head over to the main, look for Frank. Frank solves all our problems. And I'll sort of run up and go, Frank, have you seen the rest of my group?
Pete, what are you still doing here? Go!
Where?
He just points you at the stairwell, kind of just off behind you. Up there, I assume they'll be waiting for you. Just go.
Okay, they're inside. Be careful. And I'll run in the direction. I assume he knows what I mean, from that reaction.
Yeah.
Cool.
You just tear up the stairs quite happily. Reach the room easily. It's where you find everyone else, bar, of course, Jack and Sam. Kind of everyone in their last stages of preparation. You can see Edlynnne strapping a belt, her sword into a belt. Cecily just kind of kicking the wheelbarrow into place.
My chariot. Oh, we might have to leave him here. Is Jack not here?
No, he's still looking for Sam. I've got a place where we can sneak off.
Where is it?
And Frank's just given me a map on how to get out of here without anyone noticing.
Okay.
Right? So we need everyone here, hun.
We've got to be careful because they're going to know that I'm going to double cross them. Like, they can't trust me. They obviously know that because they let me
Exactly. Go. So we need Jack.
Be careful.
And I can go help him look.
And we need Sam.
Sam.
I'll go help. I think we got to help him look. But
we have to stick together.
Why not leave Jack out there by himself with the Inquisition while looking for Sam? I think I'd rather his chances with at least someone else helping him look as well. and I don't, and I'm more than happy to go help him look.
Then we've all got to look.
Yeah, I say we all go find Sam. No way. There's no way we're leaving that kid.
All heading down then?
I guess so. We're all heading down to go look for this kid. Is Alister following us?
Yeah.
When the kid goes into Grey Realm upside down, does he disappear from this one?
Yes.
I might, because I'm guessing the door was open when like Jack and everyone came in. I'm just gonna like search our room first before heading out, just in case he's like behind a curtain
Hiding
or under the bed or hiding somewhere. Yeah.
I swear to God.
Well.
I swear to God. Oh.
Feel for if the environment gets any colder, because he might just be in the other dimension, but nearby, using channel magic.
I want to go look upstairs because I want to go talk to Frank and get my knife
Most
back. Because
likely
again, this
knows.
girl obsessed with her weapons and she's going to cry. She doesn't have all her weapons.
Everyone...
You'd have to go to the front to go get
Yeah.
your weapons, where all the Inquisitors are.
I've dealt with Inquisitors.
For everyone who's going to go and help in the hunt, I simply need you to all roll an insight observation check. It will be difficulty 2, so I would recommend doing this in order so you can use momentum as aggressively as possible. Every person who fails will generate 2 chaos as you waste more time.
Observation. Can I use my observation in hearing as well?
Yes, any focus you have except smell and taste.
No, I'm going to sniff the kid out, Ben. I'm going to sniff him out.
Just lick walls. The kid has been here.
I can smell him. It's due east.
When instincts help, Ben.
Can I get
Motherly
Bismarck to search?
Instincts will help to the degree where kind of you go where you would have hidden.
Okay.
And sorry, Cecily?
Can I get Bismarck to search as well?
Yes, you can.
Cool.
In which case, whomever is leading.
I don't mind leading because I think I'm good in observation,
Yeah,
but
I'm
I can take
terrible,
momentum.
So
Yeah.
So it means everything over.
We got 5 momentum, so
I'll use
one
one
for
of those.
everybody. Yeah. All right,
I'm not searching,
that's
I'm just going to follow
two.
Jules.
Okay.
That's 3 overall, so an extra momentum, so I didn't waste momentum.
Okay, so sorry, was that 1 momentum?
I got
gain?
3 overall, 1
Oh,
extra
right, okay,
momentum.
one momentum.
Okay. Yeah, 1 momentum gain. Cool. So we're back up to 5.
Yeah.
Brilliant. You head off, and with Alister trailing you, kind of make your way down to the brothel. I'm still going to ask everyone else to roll as well, because this is an exercise of seeing how fast you all kind of split up and then regroup. So if I can get another check from everyone else, please. Except Alister, as you've already stated, you're not searching. So again, whichever order you want to do this.
I've only got 9 total in insight observation. Can I buy an extra dice, please?
You
You
can
may.
use Bismarck's scores instead of yours if you
Oh,
choose.
Bismarck's instead of mine. Okay, he's got 13, so that's a lot better. Difficulty 2, right?
Yeah.
2 successes.
Okay.
No
Cross
crits.
them. Brilliant. So
Oh.
then, go for it.
yeah,
Whoever's
okay.
next.
And I'll spend momentum because my insight observation is shite. That one fell on the floor, so we're going to use a different one. You. Actually, no, the white one. I like the white one. Nat 1.
Yeah.
And then another
Nice.
pass. So 3 passes in total.
Nice.
But then
Wonderful. That's another momentum.
that was a 12. But yeah.
Back
Yeah.
up to 6 momentums.
Look at all of these other people, Jack, passing instantly.
Okay. Look, when you're in a crowded bar by yourself looking for a small thing, it can be quite difficult.
Well, let's see if you
almost
can
like
convene
That's
this.
why I
Make
run
it
away from you
easier.
in Tesco's on a Tuesday because it's fun to see you.
You're an asshole. Yeah, because you're an asshole.
Yep.
Training in the
Redeem
field.
yourself. Go for it. Either Jack or Subil. Next roll.
Go on, Sybil.
Sweet.
We've got 6 momentum, so feel free.
The thing is, if I roll and get it, we could be able to ask a question, which I think is more important than me finding Sam at the moment.
Okay.
But there's if you get 3 overall, you buy back the momentum that you use. So you might as well
true.
just take the extra momentum.
Go on, take it.
Okay. So but I'm saying if I take that momentum and then get 3 passes, we get.
But you'd need a natural 1 and a pass rather than.
Yeah, to generate enough momentum.
What I'm saying is in the particular role, from a meta point of view, it's more important to get. But from a character point of view, I'm probably going to be looking more for the most of the party together because I know what's going on rather than specifically. So I don't think I'd be as focused.
Okay. If your character thinks to.
I think I would say it.
Okay.
Oh no, one's off the table.
You monster. See, that's karma for saying you don't care about Sam.
I do care about Sam. I just have to care about everyone as well as Sam.
No, Look, if everybody just cares for one person and we just daisy chain it,
we do have to say life
easy.
would be easier without Sam. Let's be honest. I mean,
honestly, I think it would be.
Trying to say that Edlynnne just doesn't care about everything.
I'm sure life would be easier without your legs.
2 successes, no extra. But
I'm not sure that's true.
Not quite equivalent.
Maybe we should tie up Jack as well. Do you think the Inquisition will take Jack as well?
Keep your legs.
Wonderful. Thank you very much, Sybil. Last but not least, Jack.
You failed this.
I am gonna spend momentum inspired extra dice. Because fucking hell, I need it apparently.
You're joking.
He found someone. He found a kid. Oh, it's not Sam. Oh, never mind.
It's just a really small guy. A really small, old, angry guy.
Just Tyrion Lannister.
What are you doing? Stop picking me up! Get off me! 3rd time today! I'm not your child! I just wanted a pint!
Well, that is 2 successes, but that is a complication.
Oh.
That's somehow worse than just failing completely.
Fuck me.
I mean, I feel like I can't take that away from Max.
Oh, come on, man.
It's canon.
Stop it!
What's his name?
But I have succeeded. I have found Sam.
Unfortunately, before that, you did find a very, very angry, very, very short man.
A very long beard.
Very long, big, bushy beard.
Don't worry, I'll handle this. I get punched in the face.
Put me
down! I'll mark off 1 point of stress.
I do like it, but put me down!
You kind of place him down, and it's at this point that all of you kind of meet up briefly on the center of the floor before being just kind of tracking down as you see both Jules and Alister moving down the stairs into the brothel.
Okay.
You travel down as a group at some speed, and sat there, almost in immediate view on the far end of the room, you see both Paprika and Cumin gathered around, kind of leaning down with with Sam sat between them, using their own various kits to dress Sam up to the best of their ability.
Oh, Queen.
Sam is sat there with this wonderful look on their face as they have been just begarbed in the finest clothing the prostitutes of the Oil Lantern have to offer. And in fairness, he again, much like Alister, looks fabulous.
Yeah.
There is this look of abject happiness just sprawled on their features as they're sat there kind of holding a long pipe, just brandishing it out. It's not filled or anything, but they're distinctly just kind of
mimicking.
As Paprika and Cumin just kind of urge them on, which is when you just smash your way into the room as a group.
Rolling over,
I'm just saying,
Ow.
I see this, I look at Jack and I'm like, so first you drop the kid, then you lose the kid. I'm never leaving you again.
You look amazing!
Kind of just runs over to you, finding it quite difficult in shoes that are about 5 times too big. They just kind of stumble over and just give you a little spin.
No.
And
I'm honestly
Paprika
kind of
just
jealous.
Can I-
in from the back. Baby, I'm so happy you brought this one down.
Oh, isn't she just the cutest?
Oh, they're wonderful, aren't you? And Sam just kind of gives them another little smile and just kind of goes, it's the first and only time I'm ever doing that.
That's being clipped and put on
So
the socials.
clips, yeah.
Forever
I
on
will.
the
I will need that for a meeting tomorrow morning. So I'm gonna have to clip that.
Nips.
I
Quite
will.
quick.
It's the only thing going on.
Either way,
Am I able to pick the kid up and like have them on my hip and kind of like on my side and say, right, sisters, we're gonna use Graham's room if that's okay. It is
oh
important.
yeah, Masala's out and about. She's
Right.
all good.
Masala? Okay, I'm gonna run. It's gonna be used later, for sure. Right, thanks, Han. Come on, guys! And I'm gonna like push everyone into this room and then lock the door and start pushing stuff against the door.
You all just kind of bundle into the room, and just sat outside it is a fairly old man, just kind of watching. What the fuck? The door just
I won't even
slams
care
shut
that he
behind them.
And then I'm gonna run up to the closet, and there'll be a
Yep.
pink stain, and I will push down on that.
Oh, done. You swing the closet door open. Inside, there's various garments. Is the easiest way to describe them. Straps and leather and things. You just push them to one side. You're fairly sure one could be weaponized as it just clatters to the ground next to you. And directly in front.
I'm just saying we have lost our weapons.
I understand.
Pick them up
Oh,
as we
no.
go along.
Ben,
And this is
I
an
under-
any-time reference to what we
I
saw you
just-
playing
I just-
yesterday.
No, but I know
I
we're
just
taking
wanna-
the
I
joke.
understood that reference.
But like whips and chains can be used. We have no knives and stuff like that.
batons, you know. Yeah.
I am.
It's weaponizable.
with the
Am I able? Am I
For
able?
I'm going to simply say for every momentum you spend, I will allow you to weaponize one item.
Can I pick up a whip on the way? Because I think it would go.
I'm going to hold by my rule for every momentum, yes.
Please, guys, I need a whip. Mama
I
needs a
mean,
whip.
that's 5 momentum.
I'm happy for you to spend momentum.
Spend momentum. Grab it.
Yeah, all
I
right.
want a whip.
4 momentum left.
Cheaper than buying it.
It means I won't have to use my knuckle dusters.
Can I borrow those?
Why not both?
No.
You do got a point.
Knuckle dusters.
Anyway, yeah, I'll put that up on the way.
I feel I need to ask the question. Anyone else?
Yo,
Well,
I
I'm
think
good,
I'm good.
with the sharp metal thing I have. You know, you obviously, Jules, you do whatever you want to do, but
Thanks, Sam.
I don't think Sybil's got proficiency in it.
If we come across a feather boa,
Is it your
though, I'll
first
throw it
time?
around my dog.
Is it your first time? Will it?
Well, Jules knows her way around a whip, evidently.
Yeah. I might put that in a truth.
There's a way around
That's
the
a good
whip.
trick.
There's a way around a whip.
Oh,
Free
no,
truth.
no.
At which point, you kind of reach out, you press down onto the stain, and the wood just around it immediately depresses.
you know,
And
touching
much-
stains are bad for you. You could
Yep.
catch an illness.
Shit, did we pick... wait. Did we pick up the...
No,
Nope.
No, we did not.
the vaccines are still in the room.
That's their problem now.
No, we got to get the vaccines.
Wait, I've got a waypoint. Can I spend it to say we did pick them up? I will use my last waypoint to say we picked them
I
up.
know I can use it because I got
can
one
use it,
from
I've got
doing the
3.
storytelling. I did it from the storytelling. I feel that's only fair.
Go for
So,
it.
sorry, no, the joke that I made. Yeah,
How many of us were spending void points? Is it all?
I only need one.
I'll
I
do
would
it.
feel mean asking multiple people.
I'll do it. Keep yours spare.
Thank you.
Thankfully, you had the wherewithal to grab the vaccines after discovering where Jack was. 2 of you just quickly nipped up to the room to grab them and brought them straight back down. And as I say, you depress the wooden slat, At which point the door, the cupboard, kind of gives way the same way as the bookcase on the upper floor of the Oil Lantern did. It just starts to grind across, again, leaving that kind of old man in the corner, just very, very confused.
I'm just going to pretend like he's not there.
If it helps, he's doing exactly the same thing.
I think he might be off his meds, so you know.
It's all right, Jerry. It's all a dream. It's all a dream.
You didn't see
Chill
us.
out, Jerry. Chill out.
I've had one too many to drink. It's all good.
Are you going to use that whip?
Yes.
Oh. At which point the door slides across fully and reveals just inside a small stairwell that just leads straight down. Immediately you can hear the sound of rushing water.
Shall we?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Go on then.
You rapidly head down the stairs. The door kind of has a large lever on the other side. It's impossible to miss as you move past. Is anyone going to pull it?
I'll do it. I'll go last.
Okay.
Whomever.
Oh, I mean, you if you would.
You slam that one down as you gather, just kind of hit the bottom of that the stairwell, and inside, at the base of it, you find a small rowboat. Spaced out, more of a kind of canal boat than anything else, a single long oar, much akin to what you'd find in Faith or the real world counterpart, Venice. It's just about large enough for all of you. Just about. You'll be packing your way in there. But it's just kind of gently rocking on this slowly running water. To the left, there's a heavy kind of brick wall where you can see a sluice gate behind it where the water runs free, and it just continues down in the opposite direction. The door closes behind you, the cupboard kind of moving back in place just to the small side. Oh, as it claps down.
Shall we?
Yeah, this is getting.
Who wants to steer/boat?
Has anybody got good vehicles?
Vehicle or engineering?
No.
I've got 3 in vehicles.
I've got military tactics. That's
Lynn it
not
is.
much.
Okay.
In a macro level, however, generally where we're going, because I'm going to assume that this rowboat flows out into the main river that runs through the city, or it could go to canals.
Well, I was thinking more the coast.
Well, yeah, the river would flow to the coast. We're inland in the city, right? We're down the docks a little bit, but we're by the water.
Yeah.
By the river. So I assume if it takes us down to the coast, Juliana mentioned that they already had plans sorted for the vaccine, which I presume they would know that it's going out of date. So I presume they've got stuff on standby.
So why the fuck did
But
we take it?
if we beat them there,
Well, if they're going to handle it, that pulls resources away from hunting us.
Yeah, but they might not handle it and blame it on us for the propaganda. They have
The
no
vaccine has
obligation to
no
send it out.
connection to us.
I need to get to the docks. At this point, let's just get to the
Yeah.
docks.
Yeah, you need
We
to
can
make
have
a
it
decision.
on the
On our way.
on-
We can leave
on
them
the
at the
boat.
docks if we need to, but
We can decide, yeah.
you know, I think they might have something there at the docks ready, and we might be able to commandeer it.
You're kind of stood
Okay,
by the
honestly,
boat as you're
yeah.
having this discussion. You've already
get in.
able to
Yeah.
unmoor it.
Also,
Yeah.
just so he doesn't go
Let's go,
wandering again,
let's go.
I'm just saying I've got I'm like holding Sam's hand so he doesn't go wandering off. So
Yep.
you can't be like, no, he's
Yeah.
jumped into the water when you guys were
damn it.
noticing.
Not in a bad way, but we should have just got a leash and just put Sam on, because then he's not going to.
There were
It can
plenty.
phase through stuff.
There were
You
some,
should.
yeah, that's true.
Yeah, but I don't think having that kind of leash. Like,
Assuming everyone's
Maybe a
Probably not a
bell.
good idea. Bell might
that would be
better.
good. Yeah.
Mm.
He doesn't talk.
Yeah, we're
Let's
sorry.
Yeah,
let's
get on the
talk
boat.
about- yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. And
Clamber onto the boat at this point, nestling the vaccines just between two of you. And Cecily, you kind of clamber onto the back, grabbing the oar and starting to push away.
looking fabulous as she does, of course.
Heck
Of
yeah.
course. It's wonderful. And at which point you start to just come away from the undercroft of the Oil Lantern. the scene changes. So please remove one momentum from the pool and heal any stress anyone may have.
You can take a chaos as well if you want. You know. Like...
No.
Just got enough.
My small man.
Dana, you have
slap
officially
heals.
removed the knives
Worth a
from
try.
my sheet, and now I've only got like one weapon. And I'm
Only one
very
weapon.
sad.
I mean, in fairness, you seem to be doing better than everyone else.
I doubt it.
I seem to be
it's
doing
always
better
set
than
so
my
high,
yeah.
Holly, you have the ability to cut yourself, wait for a second, snap it off, and then you've got a knife.
Can you just imagine?
You're not
Hold on,
Weird.
guys.
You could just
I mean,
pour your blood into a cast, and you got yourself a new weapon.
right?
Yeah.
The
You are
blood.
a
I
foundry.
don't.
You're a
want to,
foundry.
like, I don't want to make myself bleed to make a new
You
weapon.
are a
'cause
living
that's-
foundry.
I mean, I won't lie, it's still blood loss.
Yeah, it's still
It
blood
makes
loss,
it into
guys.
iron, but it's still blood loss.
Still
It's
fucking
still
hurts.
running around
Just have
in
a-
my body.
Either
So,
way,
you know
Just
what?
wait, you
No.
can lose a couple
of
Anybody
Yeah.
thinks of like doing that to me, you're getting parts cut off you.
So yeah,
According
check.
to the
With what?
dangerous semantics of it, as you kind of push along,
I've still got my sword. It's all good.
Cecily,
Yeah.
I just need you to make me a coordination vehicles check of 1, please. As you start moving moving in the tunnels, there's cool air following along the edge of it. You can hear nothing beyond your own the movements of the ore in the water and your own muted arguments over how much iron you could possibly cut out of if you tried.
It's 2 successes.
One keep going
Right.
momentum.
Ah, lovely. Back up to 4.
Slowly and purposefully, you carry down. The waterway only seems to follow one direction. Never splits off, never breaks, just continues along. And after about 10, 15 minutes or so, you start to see light just kind of emanating from the end of the tunnel. Very, very low moonlight more than anything else.
Okay. I was going to say that's not good.
Yeah,
if you
sorry,
see light.
moonlight. Yeah. You continue. Slowly going along the waterway until eventually you come to get a better view at the end of the tunnel. And beyond, you can see the docks. You can make out the masts of ships in the near distance. Hear the sound of birds in the air. Hear the nightlife again emanating down and around. And stood just in the center. Yes, it is. As rain kind of beats down onto the cobblestones around it, you see a small boat sat just in the end of the end of the tunnel. And as you kind of come closer, a man stands up, steps to the front of the boat, and just discards a heavy jacket from their shoulders.
Purifier.
You come closer, and as the light from the moon spreads across the face of Traeger Krautz, you see him, hands clasped around his chest, thin lines of barbed wire just hanging from his wrists. You're at the point now where you can react. You see him, you suddenly see flickers of torchlights emanating from the edges of each side of the canal, and you just hear the rapid movement of feet as the Inquisition troops rapidly start charging down, rifles in hand. You all get an action.
Hold on, let me just process, please.
How deep is the water surrounding us?
It's a canal. It's
Okay.
drops to about, you'd assume, 10 feet or so. It's deep.
I may have missed it earlier. Did we bring the bomb?
No.
No.
Okay. This
Do I
is
have
why we
any
have
access to clay
Apparently,
in a canal?
Yeah, clay's always in a canal, especially if we're coming to the ends of it.
quickly
Lots of clay
craft a
will be end up built up and along with peat.
Just say, unfortunately, you will definitively not have time to randomly craft a clay bomb.
God damn it.
I respect the
Give
effort.
me a minute.
Try as you might. Yeah. I need an action from everyone. I'm just going to start calling out names. Subil.
I'm gonna try and. I don't know.
In which case, Jules. Panic completely overwhelms Subil.
I put my hands up and just stare.
Fair, Alister?
I mean, if we're going with hands up, put my hands up as well.
There's no way we're making out.
Yeah, no. This is,
Edlynnne?
we're rumbled.
She wants to draw her sword, but no, she's just gonna she's gonna see this guy, remember what happened last time she faced him, and just put the hands up as well.
And finally, Cecily.
I was going to attempt to backpedal, but I think I'm just going to hands up, but also try and keep hold of the stick.
How far are we
I've been
from
using
the...
to punt us.
Yeah, how far away are we?
Build us a picture then. So there's two sides to the canal. There's troops. There's the
They're starting
big
to make their way
change.
down the edges of the canal, yeah.
They're starting to make their way down the edges of the canal.
They haven't quite... Sorry,
How fast is the thing flowing? The water.
Without giving you an exact...
I don't need a wind speed of a swallow, you know.
Yeah.
Laden or unladen?
It's not a fast-moving river by any stretch of the imagination.
I think if it's a canal, it's going to be fairly slow, I'd imagine.
Yeah,
But with a couple of pumps, we could speed up.
correct.
Outrun a bullet fast.
I'm standing up in the back of this
Not
thing. I
that
don't like
fast.
my chances.
I don't.
Fair.
I think we're rumbled. I don't.
The moment
So-
it just continues kind of very, very singularly following the current and floating down.
This is the end of the line.
Shout out, what's the issue here? What's the issue, officer? What are you... We're just out for a midnight punt.
You
from Pirates.
you
of the
actually trying to
Caribbean.
black this?
You ask the question as the troops just kind of come up to stand alongside you, rifles just all on both sides pointed
We're still
directly at
moving.
you.
We're still
Yeah,
moving.
you're still slowly going.
Yeah.
And as
Who's
it
in
kind of-
charge?
Yeah, if we just don't stop, we just sail straight past us.
I mean, we are moving onwards, and nobody has told us to do anything. There's just some
They're
people.
slowly-
We're
Up.
not touching the boat, so.
I'm not touching it. I'm not
So wait,
touching you.
but I can't do
Not-
it.
Yeah.
I'm stopping.
The ship continues to go as the order is barked down, just echoes through the corridor, or echoes around the tunnel, even from crouched at the front. Stop!
Cool, I'm going to wrestle with the pole and just try and get us to a halt.
It's relatively easy to do. It takes a couple of just jabs, but it does
See,
slow.
I really need to
the whole-
fight the urge in me to just play a really angsty short person. Because, the urge is as strong today, man. I'm telling you.
And leap off the edge.
Basically, yeah.
Stand there, kind of hands held up as the various troops just keep you in their sights. In completely meta terms, all holding an action to fire. As the ship in front slowly makes its way towards you. And just the rowers at the back, not even rowers, there's a small engine keeping it from moving. It's quite a large ship. It is wide enough to literally block off the canal. And Traeger just stands at the front of it as slowly the back of their boat causes the moonlight behind to just fade away. The torches from the various Inquisitors, the only things illuminating it. And Traeger, step off the boat, hands behind your back. It's over.
Right, you're not fighting.
How many
I'm gonna
people are
give it-
there on their boat?
Including Traeger, 5. And you have 5 Inquisitors on either side of yours. So a total of 15.
Yeah, we just
Well, we should go alongside then and step off. So I'm not controlling it. It's up to Cecily.
That's
But
cool. I'll do the thing.
So if we're all stepping off onto their boat, which has a motor and
Better than a pole.
only 5 of them.
Mm.
Oh, don't do it.
Really hope
Just,
this guy
I'm
thought I was dead. Like he sees me, just goes, hey.
Stepping onto
Your-
the boat.
The boat kind of rungs up next to it. You hear the wood clack against the wood of their ship, and you slowly just step over. At which point you see Jago stood there watching each of you. The guard on the ship just continued to hold the wheel. The others, rifles still raised at each of you as you just slowly, one by one, are brought on. Jack, Sam, is just gripping your jacket, and you can hear them starting to break down and cry as fear just grips their very being. And just as the last of you step on, he comes a little bit closer, more to meet Subil as he steps on. I warned her. You're a coward.
Oh, you're muting yourself.
And he just steps away. Take them. And that is where we will end it for that session.
Just before we do end it, can I just did
Yeah.
they bring the vaccines on board?
They do. Or more precisely, you kind of leave them on the side, on the ship, and 2 of the guards that were kind of flanking yours jump over and collect it.
Cool.
For a quick moment, back in the bar. Juliana and Canehurst finish rounding up the last of the patrons. Protectorate, Warden, and Inquisition troops having raided it in its entirety. Canehurst stands in the middle, pulling his blade up and just wiping the long silver portion of it clean of blood. Stepping over Gingerbeer's body. Glancing at Juliana as he marches past her back into the streets above. I'm disappointed in you. And leaving her just stood amongst the chaos, eyes locked on the floor. So am I. And that is the end of that session. Once again, this has been Chalice Twilight Roads. I feel I should ask everyone who they are, but I also feel that may be a bit mean at the moment. So once again, thank you to our sponsors. And we will see you all again next week. Thank you and good night.